This is the Big O Show. 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 This is
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions, from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends. The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
You move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show's coverage of the NBA Summer League is brought to you by Edge Energy Drink. Go to myedgedrink.com and use the Big O and get 10% off an energy drink that's delicious, smooth, and has zero aftertaste. Only 78 calories. Go to myedgedrink.com. Sloman's Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Welton Rayome. With more than 62 years of litigation experience, they're the ones you want when you need to take on the insurance companies. Call Welton Rayome for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Welcome to the Slomans.com NBA Summer League coverage, live from Las Vegas. Sloman's Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Here's your host, Big O.
All righty. Good morning, boys and girls. I hope you all are doing well out there on a beautiful Thursday morning. Yes, sir. Sean Stanley by my side. As always, getting it done. I hope you all are feeling well on a good Thursday. Got a great lineup, as always, for all of you out there. So we are ready to rock and roll. We got a bunch of things to talk about. Some of them are a little depressing. Some of them are pretty cool, and some of them are, some great stuff going on. So it's a little bit of everything, obviously. Another night last night for us over at the Summer League, and having a good time with that. I mean, let me tell you something. Yesterday Wade was there. He was watching the Jazz game before our game was on against the 76ers. And who the hell was the Jazz playing? I forgot now. Damn. Anyway, so Wade was there. Huh? Toronto, that's right. They were playing the Raptors. And, Bam was there last night also. And I got to tell you something. If your kid loves basketball and you're a father and you want to give your kid the ultimate week, you come out here to Vegas, man. And come out here to a bunch. You buy a ticket, you're there all day, all night. You can go and leave, go have lunch. Oh, I don't want to see the Kings and whatever. I'll go come back and watch, the Lakers and, Grizzlies or whatever, and not that you're seeing any of the NBA players part of that. But my point is that you'll run into the NBA players that belong on those teams. They might be in the stands walking around. They'll take pictures. If you're a Heat fan, you had an opportunity yesterday. Caleb Martin took 100 pictures, dude. He was signing left and right. Bam was also doing the same thing. Zoe, I saw Spo too. I saw Spo, Zoe, all kinds of people, man. It's just a great atmosphere. And it reminds me a lot of the Senior Bowl, because I tell all of you for so long about the Senior Bowl and how loose it is, and how you'll just, Andy Reid just walk past you, that kind of stuff. And you'll see sometimes there'll be some NFL players there. That's very rare. If you see a couple players there, but it's more about the college players and seeing the future. You know what I'm saying? And coaches and front office executives and personnel guys and all that kind of stuff. It's all there. So it's like a really cool atmosphere for football fans. This is the ultimate atmosphere for an NBA fan. It just is. Every day that I've gone, it's like, if I was a kid, I'd be begging my dad to fly out to Vegas. And listen, the gambler, rest in peace, Dad, the gambler that my dad was, okay, he would gladly bring me out to Vegas Summer League, actually, because he'd be parked in the baccarat tables and probably drop my ass off there, and I'd be there all day. But it's one of those things where, but if you actually could stay with your kid, it would be better. By the way, okay, it's just a whole different deal. But you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those deals. But it's the perfect week. Perfect week. You fly in like on a Wednesday or Thursday, starts on Friday, that whole weekend, and then this whole week. And by yesterday and today is when it starts to really die out. Because you could tell yesterday the crowds were the smallest that we've seen. Because every other day that they were jam-packed. And yet last night, by the end of the night, you saw that the crowds were probably about 60, 65% full instead of the practically 100% capacity of the whole damn week. You know what I mean? And it's a killer atmosphere. So I'm just telling you, I can't say it enough. What if a Hayward Highsmith becomes a hell of a player? You had an opportunity to watch him here, just like your Saban, who didn't play this year but played last year. You know what I'm saying? And Duncan Robinson before that, and all the different kind of players that they find here. But it's a great opportunity to meet some of these guys, take pictures, get autographs, all of those things, man. It's really cool, and you get to meet all the other young players from all. Like you could run into Weissman and get his or Kuminga, you know what I mean, or whatever. Any of these young cats that are out here, the Chet Holmgren kid, whoever that's out here, you get an opportunity to see them walking around, take pictures with them, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just saying, if you have an opportunity next year to join us here at the Summer League, because we will be back next year, I can promise you that. I can guarantee you that we will be back next year and even bigger and better next year because I've got some ideas. So, we shall see if we can actually get away with an idea or two that I have for the show. But either way, so we will have some fun with that. But I'm just telling you, ultimate experience for a basketball fan is to come out here and check it out because it is just a totally laid back atmosphere throughout. And you have both courts right next to each other. So you're able to walk back and forth. That's the thing. That's the other thing I don't think people realize on television. That the two courts are just one hallway connecting each other. That's it. So if you don't like the game that's on there, that's not a Heat game. Obviously, you would stay for your Heat game always. But if you're watching other games and you don't like that game, you go to the other one. It's the coolest thing. And it's just, the seats are first come, first serve. So you just, find a spot, enjoy it, and rock out, man. So I'm just telling you, if you get an opportunity, the Summer League is something that I think every kid would love. That's a basketball nut would be freaking out to be out here. And for all you, older folks, fathers, or just older fans, it's also a killer experience. Plus you have Vegas, so you can enjoy the nightlife. You can go to shows. You can, great restaurants, great food. We've had some great food while we've been out here too, man. So we've had a good time out here. So appreciate it. And by the way, also the Heat have been fantastic, helping us get everything that we need to get done while we've been out here. So thanks to Nick, to Tim, to Rob, all the excellent people that work there for the Miami Heat. So they really know how to handle things out here also, man. That's also been a good thing. Anyway, if you want to get in on the Welt and Realm text line, 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Realm text line. And, I thought I'd be way more tired this morning, and maybe I will be later on, but that nap I took midday yesterday, that came in clutch, man. That recharged the battery in a really good way, man. I got a couple hours in, like several hours in midday yesterday, and that just kind of, I think, helped a little bit. We fly out late tonight. We fly out like at 1 a.m. out of here. So we're arriving Friday. What is it, like 9 a.m., right? I think it is. 9 a.m. we arrive in Miami on Friday morning. There will be no show tomorrow. I can already tell you I am not going to do a show tomorrow. Okay, I'm not going to put Sean through it. I'm not going to put myself through it. We'll rest, and we're going to have a Friday show, but on Saturday. It won't be an abbreviated show. It'll be a full show. So we'll have plenty of content on Saturday to kind of catch up with everything. But Friday we're going to travel. We're going to rest. I'm going to get home, relax. Catch up with the wife. So, you got business to take care of. You know what I'm saying? Mount Vesuvius here, So I just, we got to got business to take care of on Friday, recharge, and then we'll be ready on Saturday. Saturday, you'll see me with a big old smile on my face. That's what you'll see on Saturday. So anyway, we got a lot of things to talk about today. Actually, we a little more than I expected. We have some good stuff to talk about on the show. We've got a loaded program for you. Ira Winderman will join us at 10:30. Ira's normally Friday, but Ira and Anthony had to do like this switcheroo, and I'm walking up. Hey, Anthony and I have talked about it. We're going to, so yeah, okay, guys. So they're switching. So Anthony will do tomorrow, and Ira's doing today. So there you go. You'll get your Heat reports every single day like we do on the show, but we'll do it the other way around. Ira will join us today at 10:30. Anthony will be tomorrow at 10:30. Alan Pupar will stop by at 11:30. We'll talk Dolphins with him, but we'll also talk Florida Panthers. And the Panthers, Bloody Wednesday? Is that what we call it? Bloody Wednesday? So we'll talk about Bloody Wednesday for the Panthers also, because remember, he's actually at Panthers future camp or whatever the hell it is, the kids camp or whatever, those young guys. So he's there. So, he knows he does the NFL, and he also works for NHL.com. David Dwork normally joins us today, but he's kind of on like vacation in a way and covering. But today he's kind of caught up with a lot of stuff. So he's going to join us on Saturday. So he'll be part of our Saturday assault for you all out there. So we'll have a little fun with that. And then Marcel Louis-Jacques is going to join us at 12:30 with our myedgedrink.com Miami Dolphins report. And remember, you get 10% off the finest energy drink on the planet. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. Only 78 calories. myedgedrink.com. Use the code BIG O. Get 10% off. And you can't get it in stores. You got to go online. That's the beauty of it. Delivered right to your home. You don't have to spend gas. You don't have to go in line. You don't have to do any of it. Right to your home, man. 10% off Big O. Use the code. Always. Always. All right. So a lot of things going on. Some stuff that's also kind of, we had the inflation numbers come out. Stock market goes down. Crypto pumps up a little bit, which makes no sense whatsoever. Strange things happen in this world, man. Strange things. Expect it to come back down. Wait for another dip, and you'll be all right, folks. Don't buy now. I went back up for no reason at all, which I have no idea why, because nothing's gotten better. But anyway, so our buying zone will continue for several more months, I would imagine, which is a beautiful thing. I look at this as a blessing in disguise. So there's a lot of things going on, so we'll talk about them. Congratulations to the Marlins. Unfortunately, Inter Miami ended up losing last night. I didn't watch any of those games. I do have the Inter game on my YouTube deal, so I probably will watch the Inter game later. I know that Higuain got to go, so we'll talk about all of that going on. Now, basketball-wise, let me first address, because it's happening on social media right now. And, it's people are getting excited for no reason at all. And I'll tell you what that is. And that's Kyle Lowry. And I tell you why. Kyle Lowry there's videos out there of him, and he's in great shape, and he's jacked, and he's running around, and he's shooting threes. And that's all fantastic. That's great. It's also several months late. And let me explain something to this soft ass society that we have out there, that, they're giving away rings here at the Summer League. Not only is there a title, you're getting rings. Do you know why? Because we have this participation trophy bullshit society that we live in. We're giving away rings for the Summer League. Rings. Seriously. And so I'm going to celebrate that Kyle Lowry did what he was supposed to do, lose weight and be in shape and be a professional and show up in condition, because that's what they paid him $30 million to do. He repaid them by being overweight by 30 pounds. I'm sorry. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Oh, so I'm supposed to congratulate a father that puts the food on the table for their son or daughter? No, asshole, that's your job. Oh, he's a good father. He provides. No, he's doing his job. He's not a good father. He's doing what he's supposed to do. Now, does he hug his kid? Does he tell the kid that he loves him? Are you there for key moments? That's the love. We have responsibilities that we have to live up to in life. And when you make a commitment to something, to someone, you live up to it. Okay? We don't congratulate people because they failed and now they decided to actually do what they were supposed to do. So if all of a sudden now you've decided to buy some clothes for your kid, well, all of a sudden now maybe you decided to do what you were supposed to do in the first place. So Kyle Lowry losing weight and looking great, I don't give a shit. You effed up this season, dude. You were part of the reason why they got eliminated, because your ass was out of shape. And you chose not to be a professional and be prepared for a team that paid you $30 million. And you don't have the smarts to understand, because athletes usually don't in this sense, your time is running out. And you ruined one season for you, for Jimmy Butler, and PJ Tucker. Now Tucker's gone. Now you've taken a step back as a team because you lost PJ Tucker. Now you've got to somehow find a way to replace PJ Tucker. And as much as I like Haywood Highsmith, let's stop expecting him to become PJ Tucker. That's not fair to him. We were talking to Highsmith yesterday, and he's telling us, first thing I did was get PJ tape. I want to see him offense, defense. He's a dog. He's got everything in him. I love that guy, this, that. I get all of that, but I can't expect Haywood Highsmith to all of a sudden become PJ Tucker. That's unfair. So all this stuff going on social media, and people are saying, "Oh, look at this! Oh, isn't this awesome?" It's expected. It's not awesome. This is Kyle Lowry's responsibility. It's not an accomplishment. Some guy told me, "Oh, well, I guess we love comebacks." That's not a comeback, dude. A comeback is somebody that mangled their knee and had to come back from that. Like Bernard King. That's a comeback. Isaac Austin lost 100 pounds. That's a comeback. Because he had no career and he made a career. That's a comeback. You know, what a comeback is when you actually suffered something. He didn't suffer anything except many trips through the drive-thru. So please, save the bullshit already about Kyle Lowry. This is just a sign of what this society is and why we're pathetic, why we're soft, why we reward garbage. Participation trophies, rings in the summer league, celebrating a professional paid $30 million who chose not to be in shape and be prepared for his team. And all of a sudden now we're going to celebrate because he lost the weight? Give me a break, dude. He's paid to do this. He's supposed to be in shape. The fact that he wasn't was disrespectful to everybody, from Pat Riley down to the entire fan base, because he basically said, this is not important to me, and you're paying me $30 million to do this. So if you get 2 good seasons out of him, you paid for 3. If you get 1 good season out of him this coming year, you paid for 3. So enough of this bull crap and celebrating, Kyle Lowry losing weight. Celebrate if my fat ass lose weight, because it's really hard for my fat ass to lose weight at 55. Let's celebrate that. Not an athlete being paid $30 million to get it done. Chapman's in the house. Zorria is in the house. Cockrell is in. Ian from Brooklyn says he's listening in. We love it. Gus 1388, HM 6193, Jonathan Cagle, Omar Lopez, Brooklyn Rob says Matic to the moon today. Glad I bought the dips. Oh yeah. And you can keep buying Matic even though it's up to 65 cents. But I'm with you. I bought it in the 50s also. I think it even hit 40s, I want to say. Yeah, I've kept buying Matic, just like V-Chain. I don't stop buying V-Chain. Every week or 2 weeks, it's been stuck there in that 2 cent area. Man, I keep buying and just stack it. Leave it there. I'm with you, man. And now that I can move my Star Atlas over to my Trezor wallet from OKCoin, now I'm buying more Star Atlas. I am scooping up the Star Atlas big time. Andy Rivas in. Lisa Rose is in. Armando Swain says, I'll be enjoying the show on my hour 4 drive to Western Carolina College to pick up my son from band camp. Nice. This one time at band camp, does he tell you that when he gets in the car? Dad, this one time at band camp. Big Dan 305 is in the house. Heat Fins. Chad in. Omar in. Says, I'm really a Lowry fan. His best days were left in Toronto. Well, he can still he can still play, because if you watched him last year, overweight and all, he had moments. The thing that I'm most grateful about last season is that his ass didn't get injured, because that's usually what happens when people are overweight like that and out of shape, is that they blow a knee or something like that. And thank the Lord he did not suffer any serious injury, so he can now lose the weight in the offseason. Because if he's got a banged up knee, fat, he won't be able to get in shape because he's got a banged up knee. And then you got to wait till the knee is healthy to then start to really lose weight. Now he's able to work out and stay in shape, and hopefully he'll stay in shape. If Pat Riley loses Donovan Mitchell to the freaking Knicks, do we have time? Yeah. Let me talk a little bit about the Donovan Mitchell situation before we get Ira Winderman on here at 10:30. The Knicks are morons. Let's understand that. They're a stupid team. They're a bad franchise. They're pathetic. Okay? And they're a loser franchise more than anything else. Loser franchises have to overpay, Jose. So let me bring you to reality, Jose. Okay? Let me bring you down to reality, my brother. This is Carmelo Anthony part 2. The Utah Jazz saw that the Minnesota Timberwolves, a loser organization that can't recruit free agents because they have to trade for them or draft them. It's the only way they're going to be able to corral them and keep them for any amount of time, because no free agent is signing in Detroit. They're not signing in Minnesota. They're not signing with the Knicks. They're not signing with bad franchises, even in big cities. They're not signing with them. Nobody signs with the Knicks. Nobody cares about the Knicks. Okay? So what's going on here is that Utah saw they got a haul for Rudy Gobert. Why? Because they had a stupid, desperate team in Minnesota that wants to do some crazy Twin Tower bullshit and thinks that they can get away with it. Okay? Now the Knicks are the same losers as Minnesota. They're the same losers as the Detroit Pistons. They're the same losers as the Charlotte Hornets, the Orlando Magic. They're not a destination place. Okay? The city might be, but the team is not a desirable place to play for or anything like that. So Utah knows that there are stupid people and desperate teams out there, i.e. Minnesota, i.e. the New York Knicks. And so Minnesota, they'll trade Donovan Mitchell now, but they're going to trade him for a ginormous bunch of stuff. So it's stuff that he's not worth. So if you're the Heat, they're going to ask you for something and you're just going to say, yeah, no thanks. Well, like I've said before, I said it throughout the week, I'll give you Bam and Tyler for Durant. I'm not giving you Bam for Donovan Mitchell. I'll give you Tyler and I'll give you Duncan for Donovan. Sure, I'll do that if you want. I'm not giving you Bam. Now for Durant, I know I'm winning a title. So I'll give you whatever you need for Durant. I don't care. They'll build the rest around them like they did before. I don't care about the rest. I can deal with that. I can deal with Bam and Tyler and a couple of picks, whatever, 3-4 picks, give it to them. A couple of swaps or whatever. I can deal with all of that. But that's what's going to happen with Donovan Mitchell. They're going to want the crazy haul of 5-6 first rounders and a couple of players and all that garbage. And Miami, first of all, doesn't have that much. And they're not going to give up that much because he's not worth that much. I like him a lot. He's a good player. He's a really good player. But Durant is a great player, a generational player. That's the difference. That's the guy that can carry a team. That can you got everybody else doing their roles. Durant can be the star around all of that. And Miami, nobody better at coaching and putting everybody in roles to support star players like Butler, like Durant. So I like that. But Jose, don't panic, because I think this deal with Minnesota, I mean with what's it called? With Utah, it's more about suckers are out there. So this is our chance to get the kind of haul that these other teams have been doing, like New Orleans and others that have been collecting picks the last couple of years. So I think they see that, and that's their way of being able to bring in all kinds of players because they can draft them and keep them there. Utah's not a free agent destination. Detroit isn't. Minnesota isn't. The Knicks aren't. Charlotte isn't. Certain teams, you're just Sacramento. You're not going to have the top stars come to you. So the Knicks are going. This is going to be Carmelo Anthony part 2 if they make this trade. They're going to have to give up so much that Donovan Mitchell will not have enough around him because they're not a smart organization. They've never been a smart organization. And under that owner, it's impossible to be a smart organization. So I would not panic whatsoever about the Knicks getting Donovan Mitchell over the Heat, because if they do, they will pay a ridiculous price in order to acquire him. The kind of price that will hinder them winning anything significant and putting anything around the guy. So that's what's going to end. That's what my crystal ball says. All right. By the way, Ira had a pretty good crystal ball because Tony Jones, who, by the way, along with Shams, reported about the whole thing with Donovan Mitchell, but he had told us a week earlier he thought they were going to build around Donovan. So things changed. Ira thought the entire time that they would try to trade him. Well, here they are. They're trying to trade him. We will talk to Ira Winderman next.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
Alrighty. Good morning, Ira. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. Last morning in Vegas, heading out on a flight later today. It's been a productive week, an interesting week, and you just gain a lot of insight walking the hallway to those two buildings, Thomas and Mack Center and Cox Pavilion, and sort of hearing the buzz. The buzz is right in front of you.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. By the way, before we get into all the basketball stuff, I opened the show with, if you're a basketball fan, if your kid's a basketball nut, you could have seen Dwayne Wade yesterday. You could see Alonzo Mourning. You could see some Bam Adebayo, and then a slew of so many young guys around, older veteran players, and everybody's so nice. People are taking pictures. Caleb Martin must have taken like 100 pictures yesterday as I was watching. The experience for a basketball junkie, if they come out here for a week, is second to none. They won't have this kind of experience at any time throughout the year except here, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, there were some guys who were unapproachable, sort of arrived with their people and were surrounded, but if you just, when you think about the limited access to any player, even a 12th man on an NBA bench during the season compared to out here, it's absolutely night and day, and everyone eats it up. And you look at these stands and you're like, wow, this is a meaningless game. The score doesn't count. These guys aren't getting paid, and the stands are absolutely jammed. Yeah, it's fun. I call it a carnival of basketball because that's what it feels like.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right, so now we've got the whole story with Donovan Mitchell, which, by the way, you thought that they would trade him, but I still get the sense, and I talked about this leading into your segment. I think you were able to hear a little bit of it. I still think this is more about Utah saying, well, we got a lot of desperate teams out there. Well, somebody's going to overpay for him also. And it's almost like they want to do what Green's done and collecting all kinds of picks in New Orleans and all that kind of stuff. So to me, if the Knicks do make this trade, or anybody, they're going to pay a price that I don't think a Heat fan should feel jealous about, because I think it's going to be a price that's way too steep for the talent that you're acquiring.
Yeah, it's interesting because if you look at these rosters, let's say the Knicks make the deal and send out 5 draft choices, even if they don't send out R.J. Barrett, and I think they have to. So when you look at the Knicks roster, you might have R.J. Barrett, you might have Julius Randle, you might have Donovan Mitchell, you might have Jalen Brunson, but your leading man, I don't even know. Well, matter of fact, I'll throw it back in your court for a second here. Of R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, Donovan Mitchell, and Jalen Brunson, who's the best player of those 4?
Mitchell.
Okay, so let's say Donovan Mitchell. If Donovan Mitchell is the best player on your team, you don't rank that high in the East. I mean, you look at it. Joel Embiid, best player in the Sixers. Jason Tatum, number 1 on the Celtics. Jimmy Butler, number 1 on the Heat. You go down the hierarchy in the Eastern Conference. Obviously, Giannis Antetokounmpo, number 1 on the Milwaukee Bucks. You go down the line there. All of a sudden, you know where you fall in? You fall in with a team like a Chicago Bulls, who you can make an argument that Zach LaVine is their best player. So at best, you're a second-tier playoff team in the Eastern Conference if that's your best player. So the Knicks for years have been in the wilderness trying to make Julius Randle their best player and paying him, trying to make R.J. Barrett more than he is in the draft and eventually having to pay him. Jalen Brunson, a ridiculous overpay. And now an overpay in terms of picks with Donovan Mitchell. It's hard to get an alpha in this league. You and I have argued about Bam and whether he is or not. He's not, or at least that's the argument on the Orlando Alzagari show and the Acura Pembroke Pines report twice a week. We get that. Kyle Lowry clearly at this point in his career isn't, but Jimmy is, and Pat still wants more. So what I would say is this, and I think the Jazz realize it. If Donovan Mitchell is your best player, you only go so far. So if you load up on draft choices and you get 12 draft choices and 5 lottery picks, maybe you hit on the guy, because that's what it takes in the NBA these days. And that's why Pat Riley is always looking for the guy. Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade in the draft, Jimmy Butler in free agency. You're the guy had better be one of the top players in the league. Or you know what? You're going to go out in the first round like Utah did every year or every other year. You're not up there with the Luka Doncic's in the Western Conference. You're not up there with Kawhi Leonard or Paul George in the Western Conference. You're not up there with whoever you want to cast as Phoenix's leading man, if it's Devin Booker or someone else. That's the difference. So, yeah, you know what? The Knicks might be able to drop the confetti and balloons because they'll win a playoff round.
Okay, so now let me ask you something. This is kind of interesting. I just thought about this. So think about the price that you're going to have to pay to acquire Donovan Mitchell. It's an enormous price. The Atlanta Hawks just acquired DeJounte Murray, who might be just a hair under a Donovan Mitchell, right? Because you'll say maybe
doesn't
Donovan
have the outside shot, so he's going to be a little limited.
That's exactly where I would give Mitchell. The only edge is the outside shot. Everything else, he's either equal. He might be even a better defender than Donovan Mitchell, actually. So think about the value of acquiring DeJounte Murray compared to Donovan Mitchell. Atlanta got a steal. If you're going to pay that much for Mitchell, I'd rather get a slightly lesser player that might be a little bit more complete on the defensive side.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
That's
much better defender, maybe a better fit for what Atlanta needs alongside Trae Young also.
Anybody in this league, if you have a guy that can defend perimeter players, that's a priceless thing in this league, Ira, as you know, because the perimeters, we grew up where you had to defend the interior, then you went to the outside. Here they go to the outside to the inside now. So Murray becomes an even more valuable player. So that's what I'm saying, that whatever price Atlanta paid is minuscule compared to what Knicks are going to pay for a slightly better player.
If I'm the Heat, I put together my package without corrupting the rest of my roster. So in other words, if I'm Andy Yellisberg and Pat Riley and Adam Simon and Nick Harrison, I'm sitting in the room and I'm saying, okay, how far can we go in an offer with Donovan Mitchell where we don't then hurt Jimmy Butler at 33, Kyle Lowry at 36 in our win now window? I don't think they give a rat's ass if they trade a 26 or 28, 27 or 28 first-round pick.
Yeah, they don't care about that.
Paddle have moved on, to greener pastures.
I'll give you Tyler and Duncan, dude. I'll give you Tyler and Duncan. I'm not parting with Bam for Mitchell. I part for Bam for Durant.
Right. So I think you know your package, and your package to make the math work is this: is Tyler Hero, is Duncan Robinson, and a minimal salary, probably a choice of any 4 of these players, Big O. Nikola Jovic, Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, or Omer Yurtseven. And just like you sort of were going to stop.
You already signed me Caleb, so I'm happy already.
Okay, right. So you're not going to stop with one of those 4 guys as a deal breaker, and probably at least 2 first-round picks. And if they take Jovic, it's like 3 first-round picks. You do that, you still have Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, Donovan Mitchell, and anyone, and Caleb Martin, and you're fine.
And veterans will be coming to play roles here.
And if you're sending out 3 for 1, all of a sudden you open up 2 more roster spots. So like you said, whether it's a Markieff Morris coming back or another veteran who wants, or another veteran who wants to win, all of a sudden those minimum spots look a lot better. So yeah, I think you do it that way. You know what? There are teams that make crazy trades. Minnesota made a crazy trade with all those picks for Rudy Gobert, who can't even stay on the floor in the playoffs. But you know what? Desperate teams go to desperate measures. Minnesota is Minnesota. A-Rod came in ownership. They want to make a splash. They took a chance. That's what the Knicks always do, is the Knicks clear all the salary cap space and then realize, oh, crap, all we got from our salary cap space was Amari Stoudemire. All we got from our salary cap space was Julius Randle. That's what they do there. They make the moves of a desperate team, and you wind up in a desperate situation.
Exactly. And that's why it's I'm not going. One of the listeners was like, if Miami loses Donovan in New York, I'm not concerned, because if they do, it's because New York paid a Carmelo-like price, and Utah's going to benefit from all of this. Now the question is, do they have the I know Ainge is there and all that. Now you've got to nail those picks now with everything that you've done.
Well, I don't think so. I think Danny's going to do what everyone does with these picks. Is you hold the picks and you move them to someone else for their stuff when you feel the time is right. So if you collect 12 picks and you can send 4 for this player and 4 for that player, maybe it works. You know what this is? You know what this is, Big O? And I hate to touch on a matter that I know it's
frugal over there. I think they want to get the young guys so they can get them early and they're part of their career.
I think they're trading first-round picks like crypto. No one knows what it's worth necessarily, but they're saying, oh, this is fascinating, this stuff. Let's play with this stuff a little. That's really what it is. Just like crypto is not backed by anything but faith, draft picks are not backed by anything but faith that you could turn them into something. It really is the NBA's alternate currency. You have salary cap cash for legitimate free agents, and you have draft choices in the ether. It could be worth something great. It could be Michael Beasley at number 2. You just don't know.
By the way, there's DeFi, there's smart contracts, there's a lot of things that go with crypto that actually is very tangible. It's not really intangible, and it's not faith. Okay,
I'll stay with fungible for now.
Dogecoin is faith. Dogecoin is all about faith and meme, and it's just one of those. It has it has no electronic and technical value to it whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? So there are things that it's more than just faith, but I get you. All right, the other thing that's taking over the internet and all that, and to me, I'm sorry, I'm old school. The guy that tells me, well, no, he's a good father. He provides for his child. That's not a good father. That's what a father does. You're supposed to provide for your child. I'm not impressed. Well, Kyle Lowry videos are flying all over the place. He's in great shape and shooting. And again, I'm not impressed, Ira. I'm happy that he's lost the weight, but you don't even know that.
You remember the pictures we saw a couple of years ago of He-Man Tyler Hero when he had these like Lou Ferrigno kind of arms? It looks like the Hulk.
That big, yeah.
And then he showed up and he looked like Tyler Hero. And even after this season, Pat Riley said Tyler needs to bulk up a little more. You can do plenty with your Photoshop, with the angle that you take the picture. And you know what? I don't give a rat's ass what you look like the second week of July, the second week of June, of August, the second week of September. I care about what you look like in training camp, the second week of November, December, January, and especially April and May. So it's one thing to have the time off and not traveling and be able to put your total focus on that and not eating road food. Let's get to the season and see what you look like when the minutes matter. July matters for the kind of players we're watching out here in Vegas, for the Orlando Robinsons and the Jamal Cains and players like that. It doesn't matter for Kyle Lowry. Matter of fact, I don't give a crap if a player is living in Krispy Kreme in July, as long as he's ready to go at the end of September.
You just reminded me, we ate at this place called Sicky's Garage, which, by the way, awesome food. It's at that mall down the south end of the strip, the town center, it's called. Yeah, they got all kinds of shops. The Apple store is there and all kinds of, it's called Sicky's Garage. And they have a burger that is, we didn't have it, but it's a burger with 2 glazed donuts. Oh,
I think you're going to be coming home with a little extra cholesterol, but that's your decision.
No, I did not even try to eat that thing. Are you kidding me? No way, man. No way. I had some chicken. Relax, okay? I didn't even have the meaty stuff as it is. So I had a little chicken. I was a good boy, actually, but it was delicious. It is good. If you want Sicky's Garage, there, excellent food out there. By the way, just to kind of finish off with the little summer league stuff. Well, babe, first of all, what do you think about the Durant issue? Are you hearing anything? Because it's kind of quiet. And the fact that I haven't seen Pat Riley at all in summer league, that kind of tells me, I don't know, man. I wonder if the Godfather's working this thing behind the scenes.
When the Heat did all their contracts and stayed below the hard cap, they did it for a reason. They believe this could be an explosive trade market. So we've spoke about Donovan Mitchell. We've spoken previously about Kevin Durant. That's just the tip of the iceberg. When there's very little free agency movement like we've seen this year, the movement comes somewhere else. It comes on the other end. So I think the Heat are laying back and saying, you know what? On our board at 601 Biscayne, we don't have only Mitchell and only Durant. We think these 6 players also could shake free. So the Heat are looking at all the possibilities and what they put in play. Once they put that Duncan Robinson $18 million contract in play, that's their last salary matching chip to really make some of these deals work. So then it's going to go willy-nilly like the Knicks and just throw in a poo-poo platter of a bunch of stuff for one player, and then all of a sudden, we don't have anything left to offer. They're going to sit there and they're going to look at names that you and I have not even discussed and say, you know what? This coaching situation is a little uneven in this place. This team thinks it's better than they are. This guy's an injury away from decimating the rest of that roster. And the Heat have those other names also. Again, this has been a theme for our Accurate Pembroke Pines reports here. I know we want the immediacy of just getting it done so we can all go on vacation. This could also happen in August. It can happen in September. It can happen after players who were signed this offseason become tradable either on December 15th or on January 15th. It could happen at the trading deadline. We all want something now.
But it won't happen until Durant happens. That's the thing, right? You're not going to go for John Collins or anybody else until you find out about Durant.
But at the right price for Donovan Mitchell, I think the Heat might. And I think that's what Danny Ainge is doing. And that's why the news came out last night.
Yeah, but we're not even in that neighborhood because if they're dealing with the Knicks, then that means they're in a stratosphere that the Heat are like,
I think what Danny Ainge did is he saw all these juicy bits out there tossed around for Durant. And he goes, I'd like to get me some of that. So I think Danny Ainge in Utah is trying to preempt Durant by going, hey, if you wait on Durant, this guy's going to be gone. So you have to make a decision. It's a really smart strategy. I would not be surprised in coming days when the enablers, when Shams and Woj and Chris Haynes and Mark Stein start mentioning another name. John Collins all of a sudden is out there. Indiana's really doing, because all these teams see everyone pushing their chips to the middle of the table. And I think a lot of these teams are going, hey, I like some of those chips. They're nice and shiny. We want to get involved. The manipulation here is unreal.
By the way, the guy that I like under the radar that I think has been a little bit of an underachiever over there, but I think he'll be an excellent player here is Miles Turner. I just think his length, the fact that he can shoot the three, I think that if they can pry that guy away from Indiana, that's one of those guys that you won't have to pay a whole ton for. And I think you can. I think he'd become a hell of a player in Miami's system.
See, I'm going to go John Collins over Miles Turner for the reason that I know John Collins.
You're going to pay a lot more for John Collins.
Well, but he wants to be here and he's from here. Miles Turner's been very sort of flighty. I'm not so sure that basketball is number one on his list. I'm not so sure that he has a preferred destination. I think John Collins gets here. I think all of a sudden he has everything he wants. He has the money. He has the location. He has a title contender. So that's another good name. Again, this is not over. As soon as I step away and take my first vacation day, the world's going to explode, and I know that.
So John Collins, has got the money, he got the power, and now, all right, I'm not going to finish that. All right, follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat, and of course, subscribe to the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Catch his work every single day and catch him here every week doing his thing with the accurate Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat, and NBA report. Ira, as always, thank you for the time, my friend. Appreciate you. Have a great week.
Monday and our accurate Pembroke Pines report at a normal hour in a normal time zone. Thank you, Big O.
You got it. There you go, my brother. No doubt about that. We'll both be back in the East. There it is, Ira Winderman.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat, and NBA report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's Inn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Alrighty. We thank Ira as always. Sean, Tony says that AEW Dynamite Tag Team main event was great. Should have left that match for a pay-per-view. Oh, you did? Oh, okay. Oh, there it is. I agree, but next pay-per-view month away. Yes. Aha, there you go. Okay. All righty. So we got a little wrestling in there as always. After thinking about it, we just should run it back and replace PJ Tucker. Well, who the hell do you replace him with? That's the question. You know, and Hayward Highsmith is not going to replace PJ Tucker. That's not fair to the kid. He's a young man. He's not ready to replace PJ Tucker. That takes a while to become a player like that. I like the Mitchell Butler combination best. I hate to see Bam go because I've always felt we are height challenged. Well, they're not going to trade Bam for Donovan Mitchell, Pablo. So I don't think that's going to happen at all. I pretty much can can go out on a limb and tell you 99% chance that there's no shot they're trading Bam for Donovan Mitchell. No shot. You don't give up Bam for Donovan Mitchell. You can give up Tyler and Duncan, but you don't give up Bam. I'd be pretty critical of the Heat if they give up Bam for Donovan Mitchell, unless they're going to give up Tyler and Duncan for Durant, and then okay, yeah, then I'll take it. Which of course all sounds ridiculous. Let's see. Big O, have you checked out Ultra UOS? Really good gaming project. Listen, my man, right now is not the time to invest in altcoins that are, suspect and new and all that. The economy is so bad and everything that's going on right now. I would not be venturing into coins that, I'll invest in Cardano. I'll invest in Matic. Okay. I'll invest in those because I know that they're going to survive all of this and they're going to come out 10 times stronger. But there's going to be a ton of companies that are going to go under. And I would not be investing my money right now in speculative stuff that is just not part of really what's going on right now in that ecosystem that has strength, that has stability, that is still building. Polygon every single day is adding things. I've been telling you guys about Polygon and Matic for Polygon Matic because it's Matic. That's the name of it, but Polygon is like the nickname of it. We've been telling you about it for a while, and all I keep doing is piling on the Polygon. I just keep buying and buying and buying and buying because I know it's going to become an absolute monster. Polkadot is another one that what Gavin has done with Polkadot being, it's layer 0 basically because it's going to connect all of the chains. So it's, it's needed in the ecosystem. So you got to understand what's going on, why it's being built, what its use case is. Like I always talk about, oh, it's on faith. No, it's not. It's not faith. Because he doesn't really follow it. So he's not going to understand it. He's going to know. He's going to have the general knowledge that some of you have and don't really understand what the hell is going on. But there's obviously a lot to it. And right now, stuff like that, Ultra UOS, I don't know, man. I don't know too much about it. And maybe it turns out to be an amazing project. I'm not sure. But I just, if in the metaverse area, ApeCoin is something that I'm riding. I talked about this yesterday. Immutable X, Illuvium, Engine Coin, Star Atlas. Those are some of the metaverse coins that I'm in. I know I'm missing something else, and then obviously Poly and Cardano have a lot of metaverse in them too. So I just, you got to really understand what's going on and be careful with all of that. Here's what I would tell you, Jay Bala. If you're going to invest in UOS, please make sure you invest what you can afford to lose. So if you're going to put $20 or $200 or $2,000, make sure it's money that you don't care about. That you can say, okay, if I lose it, it's not the end of the world. My life is all right. I'll overcome it and I'll be fine. As long as that's your attitude with it and that's the reality that you live in, then yeah, take the chance if you want. If you feel good about it, you studied up the project, you think it's got great owners, great support staff. The use case is there something different compared to other gaming projects that gives them an edge? All of those things. If you studied it, you feel good about it, then invest in it, man. Good luck to you. But I don't know anything about it. And I'd be, again, very, very nervous about investing in altcoins right now. Right now you should be sticking most of it into Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then some of the other ones that are, like I've talked about before, that you feel good about, but mostly should be into the big ones. What is a healthy amount of Polygon to own? Kelly Saunders, what you can afford, my friend. None of us live in the same financial stratospheres. So one person can own, 50 Matic, another one can own 5,000, another one can own 500,000. Here's what I would tell you. Own as much as you can afford. Okay? Put it this way. I don't stop buying. So there's no number for me for Matic. There's no number for me for Cardano. None. Nada. Nay. Ethereum, Bitcoin, nada. Polkadot, nada. I can't buy enough. Chainlink, I can't buy enough of it. Okay? So it's all what you can afford, my brother. That's it. What you can afford to lose, what you can afford to invest. What you never, ever invest is the money you need to put food on the table for your kids, for your family, for yourself, pay for your insurance, your rent, your mortgage, your car payments. That's not the money you ever invest because you can't. You shouldn't. So there you go. Run it back. I'm not keeping my hopes high on getting KD or Mitchell. We have a team that can compete. They have shown it in the last 3 years. The team has a playoff experience and room for improvement. Yeah, that's nice, and that sounds really nice, and you can paint it all you want. The Heat aren't winning a title the way they're constructed. So don't kid yourself. They got to make a move to try to win a title. Okay? The Heat are not a title contender. Not in this world, not in the next world, not in the world after that. They'll be a really good team. They'll win 50 games. They'll play hard. They'll be fantastic. It'll be a great year. But if you want to win a title, which is what Pat Riley's about, that's not a title team. Jimmy Butler does not have the other star next to him. And please don't tell me that Bam Adebayo all of a sudden is going to become that star. I love Bam for what he is, a super role player. Terrific player, helps you out defensively. He's a monster. He helps you out offensively and running that offense with the setting the screens and the pick and roll stuff and the dribble handoffs and all the things that he does. He's fantastic for all of that. He's a super role player, but he's not ever going to become a offensive force, and that's what Jimmy needs next to him. So you can paint whatever picture you want. The Heat are not winning the title the way they're constructed. So you must acquire Durant in order to go and get a title, to become a title contender. As much as I like Bam, he struggles with people like Embiid. When he runs into centers like that, they eat him alive. Embiid has him for lunch. So while he is an excellent defender all around, he cannot handle the big centers like that. Luckily for Bam, there aren't a lot of those kind of guys. So he's not going to run into those kind of guys. He'll run into this guy or he'll run into Jokic, in the finals if he runs into him, that kind of stuff. There's only a couple of those guys that can push him around like that. But he's not good enough to stop those kind of guys either. So that's why you need another star on this team. If you can make the move for Kevin Durant, you make the move for Kevin Durant. You have to. You have no choice. JS says, my company just laid off a bunch of people. The economy is crazy right now. Like Big O says, please only invest what you can afford to potentially lose. Exactly, man. Yeah. Robert Williams destroyed Bam. Yeah, exactly. He pushed him around too. Bam is a really good defender, but interior-wise, he gets pushed around by the big guys. Yeah, the Robert Williams one, that was a nice call by you, Kelly. Forgot about that one. But there's only a couple of those guys. Like, put it this way, Bam would die in the 90s. The 80s and the 90s, he would have been dead meat. All right? Dead meat. Not ground beef, but he would have been dead meat. All right? That's what would have happened to him. Because those big guys push his ass around. I love Bam for what he is, as long as you understand what he is. Don't try to make him what he's not. So they they need to go get that star. And if Durant is available, I think it's what I talked about with Ira. Notice they're not doing anything. Nothing. The only thing, they set up Caleb and they took care of Oladipo and all that, because those are bird rights things, and they had control over all of that. But they have not gone up because they want to make sure they can make that Durant move. And if they can't make that Durant move, then they go on a plan B, whatever it may be. Mitchell, John Collins, Miles Turner, whoever the hell is out there that they think that they can acquire. But Durant is that first move. Why? Because Riley knows in order for him to lift another banner, he needs another star on that team. They don't have another star outside of Butler. Lowry's not that star. Bam is not that star. And none of the young guys are ready to be that star. And Tyler's not that star. And we could keep talking about Tyler, but, we're going into year 4 now. Right? He still hasn't gotten it there yet. And defensively, his body, he got a little better this year. I'll give him credit. The kid tried. But he's got to build that body up a lot more. Ira made a really good point on, those offseason pictures that he looked more muscled. And he wasn't really that muscled when you saw him after. So this will be my first season experiencing the Big O Show during the Dolphins and Canes football season, and cannot wait to hear the coverage. Oh, boy, you can't wait for this coverage. We can't wait to give it to you, because this will be our first season where we're also going to be a lot at Dolphins camp too. It will affect the show. We won't be able to be on every day at the same time. Show will shift to some different times. Sometimes that's what's going to end up happening. But, that's what we're going to do. Yeah, definitely. Who knows? I might be able to do the show in different places, right, where we're covering. Good morning, Big O Nation. Poor Bam would have been dead meat against the bad boy Pistons. Not against anybody. David Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal, Alonzo Mourning, you name it. He would have struggled with the kind of post centers of those days. It's not his game. We see it when the big guys are in the paint. He gets pushed around. That's because he's a slimmer guy. He's not he doesn't have that Rodman type of, I don't know, disposition or something, or whatever the hell you want to call it. The guy was amazing. Good morning, Big O Nation. Let's see. KD or Mitchell would be great brothers. I just don't think that the Heat have what these two teams want. And you're probably right. Luke says anyone but Kyrie vacation Irving. Yeah. That there's no Kyrie Irving coming here. He's not a Heat player. All right, we got 1 hour down. We got 2 more to go. If you want to get in on the Welton Rayom text line, that is the law office. You want to call 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. We'll read your text in the next segment here on the Welton Rayom text line. Sean Stanley is the man that masters this program every single day. Give us a couple minutes. Hour number 2 is next.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CS, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red, an infrared light, has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Evolve your training and step into the new era of muscle recovery. Red Recover.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The point statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. We continue with our coverage live from Las Vegas with our Slomans.com NBA Summer League. Slomans Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Here's your host, Big O.
All right. How are all of you doing out there? Hope you all are well. Welcome back. It's hour number 2 of the program. Thank you for tuning in here on the show. We're out here in Vegas. This is our last day in Las Vegas. Last day and night. We still have the night also here. We don't leave till 1 a.m., man. We arrived 9 a.m. on Friday. So, again, I will mention there will be no Friday show. We'll do a Saturday show. We'll move most of the guys over from Friday to Saturday. So we'll have a little fun with them, and we'll have a full Saturday show, and we'll rock it out. And so expect us to be on Saturday, sometime around 11, I would imagine, something like that. I'm not going to go on as early also on Saturday. It won't be like at 10, but it'll probably be 11 a.m. And we'll set everything up, and we'll have a little fun on Saturday with everybody, and we'll get in all of their talk. Mike No-Go Zones is asking me the Inter Miami game. He watched it last night. It was a tough loss. Yes, sir. He says, do you think this season is still salvageable? Well, last night, Inter Miami lost to Philadelphia 2-1. Higuain did pick up a hell of a goal in the 82nd minute. They're going to take on Charlotte on Saturday. The question is, when do you get Pozuelo in there? Okay. He's going to wear number 8, apparently. They introduced him to the crowd yesterday. He's got visa issues. He needs to play right away. It is salvageable, but you need to get the other guy, too, that they acquired. I forgot the guy's name, but you got to get those guys, especially Alejandro. You have to get him in there, man, because this guy's a scorer. And he would really open it up for Campana. I don't know if Nevin is going to change his attack and have 2 forwards at the top instead of 1, or is he going to drop Pozuelo to a midfielder spot, or is he going to move Campana to a midfielder spot? You know what I mean? But either way, you want those 2 guys on the field creating some havoc out there. And I think it would also help Campana because who's a young guy, and he has had a really good season overall, but I'm sure now he's getting a lot of attention because of what he's done early on. They know he's one of their guys. So is it salvageable? Look, they're not winning a title or anything, but yes, they still have a shot. There's plenty of time to get back into the playoffs. The question is, how long do they have to wait for Pozuelo? If they have to wait too long, then it's not. If they can get him back in the next week or two here, then you've got a shot. A shot. Chemistry, all that stuff has to take place. This team is not good enough, period. They need the firepower. So let's hope that they're able to do that. So yeah, there's still a chance. Not a big chance, but there's still a chance. Stephen Chet says, Big O, by the way, wanted to reassure you, I completely agree with your outlook on leadership. Omar's perspective didn't much make sense, but you hit all the points on leading by example and all. Of course, there's all kinds of leaders. Now, sometimes you need a certain kind of leader for a certain situation, sure. But there are guys that lead by example, and they're great leaders because the coach is telling the player, you see that guy? Now, he doesn't go rah everywhere, but look at him. He's always prepared. He's watching film. Go look at him working out. He's always in shape. He's always doing his reps. He's making plays on the field. He shows up on the film. That guy, that's the kind of guy you need to be, son. That's what the coach is telling the young player. And so maybe he's not a vocal leader, but he's a leader by example. Like, yeah, you want to follow that guy. Because, that's Keith Askins. That guy knows how to practice, how to prepare. That guy's Udonis Haslam. That guy's PJ Tucker. That guy. Now, he doesn't have to be the guy that rattles cages and tells you and gets in your face and all that stuff. So, yeah, it's just, but hey, man, that's the beauty of sports. We're going to agree and disagree. And so Omar and I completely disagree on the definition of what leaders are. Damn it, no show tomorrow. Now I'm stuck taking my mother-in-law all day, Big O. Wait a minute, Steven. Remember, we have replays. So you can go back and watch things that you haven't watched or something like that. So you can throw that in there as a filler, my man. Nothing wrong with that. Jordan will be on next week. He had a vacation this week, so he will catch up with us next week. What else do we have here on Le Programme to talk about? Florida Panthers. Disappointing, man. Bill Zito has been magical in the first couple of years. Now, they didn't have a lot of cap space. They went all in this past season. That's what happened. And you kind of feel bad for Zito and the Panthers right now because they rolled the dice, and they rolled the dice on the wrong people. And they still have the wrong people in place. Not the wrong people. They don't have enough of the right people in place. Okay, because it's not that Huberdeau is a problem. He's a fantastic player, but he's not the star you need at the top of your team. And so now you lose Claude Giroux yesterday. He goes to Ottawa, 3-year, $19.5 million deal. Plus, you gave up a first rounder. So you rented him for a couple of months and lost him. Ben Sherratt, you gave up another first rounder for him. He ends up in Detroit for 4 years and $19 million. So now you lost 2 first rounders in the future for what? A second round exit? That's a disaster. Mason Marchment, terrific player that I like. Most of us do that are Panther fans. Dallas, 4 years, $18 million. Noel Chari signed a 1-year deal. And then they got a whole bunch of guys, Nick Cousins, Colin White, the Stahl brothers, Alex Lyon, Anthony Bitetto. Bunch of guys that are just names and former first rounder and failed first rounder and all that kind of stuff. And they're trying to find another, some kind of diamond in the rough or something like that. That's kind of risky, man. But this is all they could do because they have no cap space. They're losing out on their power of trading because they have no picks. And they're not going to be better than they were last year. They have taken several steps back now. So I don't know what's going to happen from within, but they're going to need drastic improvement from within to get better than what they were this past season. It's kind of a shame, man. Really is. Kind of a shame to see what's gone on with this team and this offseason, because you had a lot of momentum. You had a great year, and you were hoping to make one hell of a run. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, you can't make the run, and you're wondering where you're going to be next year. You know, you're going to be entertaining. You're going to be good. But can you be great? Can you be a champion is the question. And I don't know if you can. And for me personally, I'm one of the guys that wants to see the Panthers win badly and have big time success. And I thought the second round exit was a thud we're not going to win over the average fan, the guy on the fence, the people that don't even care about hockey. We're not even going to bring them to the fence or anything like that. And a lot of people walked away with the same old Panthers, even though they got past one round. That's a shame. And it's not the same old Panthers. They're way better than they have been ever in the past, outside of their Stanley Cup year. But it's about perception. And the perception for the fan, they don't realize how good they are. They are good, but can they be great? It's kind of what we talked about with the Heat. Yeah, you're going to be good, but can you win a championship? Can you be great? Probably not. If you don't get Durant, you probably cannot be great. If you can't get Donovan Mitchell without parting ways with Bam, you probably can't be great. So I don't know if the Panthers can be great now. With the way this is almost like a step back. Others are getting better. You're not getting better. And Kevin Bear sends in meow, 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 meow. Exactly. Yeah. You are correct. You are correct, sir. So tough one. Really tough one for the Panthers. All right, 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, that's 855-912-1056 on the Welt and Rayom text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Big O throwback BK movie of the week. The Toy, Pryor, and Gleason. What do you say? Keep doing your thing, my brother. Love the show. Your boy JM. The Toy, Pryor, and Gleason. Oh, The Toy with Richard Pryor. Oh, yes. Oh, God, yeah, that's an old one, dude. No, it would not hold up today. You are correct. That definitely would not hold up today. Yeah, the Duclair injury does really, really hurt. But at least you might get him back for the playoffs. Special teams took a step back. The whole team took a step back, man. And Eddie Marchment was one of those few who didn't seem to shrink in the playoffs. Really disappointed that we lost him. I agree. Marchment, I like a lot, man. I like him a lot. Kind of like Nature B. I love Nature B. 27 vitamins, amino acids, 28 minerals, and powerful antioxidants. And I tell you all the time about plant pollen. It is great for the kids. It's great for the family. No 3 o'clock fade, 4 o'clock. You're running. No. You're going to power through. And what I love also, stronger nails, smoother skin, fuller hair. So those are some of the benefits I tell you all the time about Nature B. And folks, we got a great deal going on right now. Go to naturebee.com. This is great for the kids, great for the adults. And what I love is it boosts your immune system. I rarely ever get a cold, and I attribute it all to Nature B. Right now, you can buy 2 months and get the third month for free, plus free shipping. Use our code BIG-O. Buy 2 months, get the third month for free, and free shipping. Use the code BIG-O. Go to naturebee.com. That's what you got to do. Nothing wrong with that. All right. What else do we have going on? We are expecting Alan Poupar at the bottom of the hour. So hopefully he will join us. And he's at Panthers. What's that called? He told me today. He told me this morning. Development camp. That's where he's at. Panthers development camp. So we'll get his thoughts on. I can't imagine that there's a lot of pep in their step there in Florida right now with the Panthers. And they've got to be a little concerned about their offseason so far. So let me get into a little football story. So there's a report out there. I saw Barry Jackson write about it in the Miami Herald. And he says, Dolphin fans should root for Mike McDaniel, but here is some Sean Payton news. He doesn't write the headlines, okay? Whenever you see a headline, if it doesn't match the article or if it's not a good headline or what, never blame the writer, ever. Writers have never written the headlines. Those are all the editors. They write the headlines, okay? But anyway, and there's nothing wrong with the headline either. But I'm just saying, if you ever want to pick on somebody for the headline, don't pick on the writer because they don't write the headlines. And so he writes about that. It says that Sean Payton, that if he returns to coaching next year, because he really wanted to take a year off, that the Chargers, Cowboys, and Dolphins are the targets. And he has his whole thing, roster that can compete and quarterback and all that kind of stuff, and control of personnel decisions. And I thought that was interesting because I've told you all for a while now, the want and need for Sean Payton was the owner. The want and need for Watson was Flo. The want and need for Tom Brady was the owner. None of it was ever the front office. Chris Greer, Marvin Allen, and Reggie McKenzie, they're doing what they want to do right now. Build it through the draft, add free agents, go through Tua, and get there, that way. They're not going to want Tom Brady because then he's going to stick his nose in to personnel. These guys have worked hard to be in this position. They're not going to want Sean Payton because then Sean Payton is going to run the show, and there's no need for those guys. They'll move on to other teams. And who's to say Sean Payton is going to be a great personnel guy? Okay? He's won without being the personnel guy. He hasn't won while being the personnel guy. His title, not his personnel decisions. In fact, a lot of them were Jeff Ireland. Anyway, so just, you look at what they're doing there and what he wants now, it still doesn't, give you any assurances of anything actually happening with whatever team. Now, look, in the end, I'm with the headline. I'm rooting for Mike McDaniel. I don't want any more changes. I don't want any other quarterback. I don't want any other head coach. I want to, remember somebody asked me, I really want to see, I forgot what it was, this guy have a great season. I just want to see the Dolphins have a great season. But it's kind of ridiculous, right? That we're talking, there's a report coming out of Sean Payton and he's eyeing the Chargers and he's eyeing the Cowboys and he's eyeing the Dolphins. And by the way, he must like all three quarterbacks. So that's the other thing that people, it's not, hey, Sean Payton wants to go, but he wants to replace Tua. No, Sean Payton wants to come, but he wants to coach Tua. Sean Payton wants to coach Justin Herbert, and Sean Payton wants to coach Dak Prescott. Obviously, he picked three teams that he must be comfortable with the quarterback position. He must be comfortable with the roster. Although it is bad for all three coaches, it's a bad look for Sean Payton that his people are putting stuff like that out there. It's not a good look that you're targeting somebody else's job while they're employed. You know what I mean? But yeah, we definitely need to root for Mike McDaniel, and I hope nobody should hope for any more turnover. Turnover does no good for any of us. And now, crappy continuity doesn't do anything either, okay? Sometimes you do have to make a change. But this man hasn't even started yet. And that's where I have a problem with all of it. You know what I mean? Just like I have a problem when people go after Tua and they don't actually point out all the crap around him that causes him to be in a terrible position all the time. And so that's a lack of understanding the way I see it. And right now, Mike McDaniel deserves this opportunity. And I just kind of find it silly that, this kind of story gets out. Season hasn't even started. And you've got either the Chargers, the Cowboys, or the Miami coach already fired. And, you're Jimmy Johnsoning the position from outside like he did to Shula. And remember, after Jimmy did all that shit to Shula, he then took over the job, and idiots like myself, we bought all into it, and we're going to be special, and you were never special. So just want you to remember that. And Jimmy had success as a personnel guy with Dallas. Sean Payton has never even done it. I'm just saying. So that story, it's fun, all of that, it doesn't mean you're going to win. Okay? In the end, he had Drew Brees for 15 years and they won one title. And at least they won one title, but they won one title. Let's not make it sound like, oh my God, they won title after title after title. And he also had, what was it called? Bounty Gate, right? Bounty Gate also happened under his watch, too. Everything isn't what people paint it to be. And Kevin James played him. That's right. I heard it was a terrible movie, by the way. You saw it? It's a joke of a movie. Okay, yeah. I heard it was terrible. Yeah. Yeah. Samuel says, the Bob deal is really costing the Panthers. It reeks of the contract that the Dolphins signed Sue to back in the day. He will never live up to it. Yeah. You are correct, sir. Hard to argue with the truth, Samuel. Training camp starts exactly when? When you go on the web and go look for the date. Miami Dolphins training camp dates. Go ahead, Google it. Ernie Cabrera, it's been a while, but Ernie Cabrera just logged in. There we go. Ernie Cabrera wants to tell us about Ernie Cabrera. I like it. Big O, did you work with the hammer when you were younger? Yes, I did, sir. Big O, always keeping it real. We try. Big O, my son and I are coming down to Miami from Indiana for 3 days of Dolphins camp and 2 Marlins games. What's the best place to stay on the beach that's equally close to each venue? First of all, Space Sneak, I would not stay at the beach. That's just me, my brother. The beach is a pain in the ass. It's expensive as hell. Traffic is a bitch. Getting in and out of that island, I'm just telling you. And then you've got weekends and all that. I would not stay at the beach. And if you're going to go between Dolphins and Marlins, I would stay in downtown Miami. That's what I would do. Hotel Intercontinental, something like that. Because since you got to go to North Miami and you got to go to Marlins Stadium, and then that keeps you close to South Beach, close to the Grove, and you're in driving distance to all of that really close. You know what I'm saying? You want to go to Coral Gables if you feel like it over to the University of Miami. You're minutes away from from Coconut Grove, minutes away from Key Biscayne, minutes away from South Beach. You know, you're from the Dolphins training facility, you're about 35, 40 minutes away. So that one's a little bit of a trek, but you're right when you're in downtown Miami, you're getting right on a highway and you're going right to it. So it's actually convenient. You know what I'm saying? I would stay in downtown Miami. Nice hotel in downtown Miami. There's several there. So do that. Doesn't matter. But if he's going to Marlins, that's why I said, because it's a half-hour drive, whatever, 35 minutes. Huh? Even better. Everybody's coming south. He's going against traffic. Yeah, that's another thing, by the way. In the morning, if you got to go to practice, Dolphins camp, everybody's coming south. You're going north. So traffic won't be as bad either. I'd stay in downtown Miami. I would not stay at the beach. I would visit the beach, get the hell out of the beach. Okay? But I would not stay at the beach. That's just my suggestion. That's all I'm telling you. Plus, it's all overpriced. On top of that, just a suggestion. Let's see. Big O at all these stories are media driven as there is no good material to write about, so they're stretching for material. Yes, sir, Jamie. Happens all the time, my friend. Big O, will you have video from camp to play on the show? Yes, we will. We will have plenty of video from Dolphins camp. You will see a lot of video from Dolphins camp, from Heat camp, from Heat games. Sean and I are going to take the show to another place now this year. We've kind of settled in on everything with the podcast. Now, eventually we are now going to take it to another level and go out to training camp and get you interviews with players and all that kind of stuff and add another dimension to the show. Okay? As we continue to grow. Piece by piece, man. Slowly but surely. All right? Definitely Hotel Continental would be the best bet. There you go. JT is going to work at also work the Finns game as well. Yes. Oh, no, I think he gave up the Finns game thing. Yeah, it's a two-man booth. Yes. Yeah, Barry wrote that the other day, that Jason Taylor is out of the Dolphin broadcast. Huh? I think he's out for the regular season. That's what he is. It's a two-man booth. Yeah. Two-man booth for the regular season. He's out. He's not going to do the games. Eddie Lepp says Airbnb in Little Havana. There you go. Let's see. All right. Let's go to Alan Poupard. Oh, the good thing about Alan is he's also a Okie guy. Yeah. So we will talk to the Okie and NFL guy right now. Yes, sir, with our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report.
Let's get ready to talk Dolphins football. It's the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report with Sports Illustrated's Alan Poupard. With locations throughout South Florida, Sports Grill is the home of the special grilled wings. Check out our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road in 114th and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza. Here's Miami Dolphins insider Alan Poupard.
He's at development camp with the Florida Panthers. I would imagine, are they all walking around right now like Charlie Brown after he missed the football again?
You're talking because of what happened in free agency yesterday? No.
Yeah.
No, I think they had braced themselves for what was going to happen yesterday. They went for it at the end of last season, and there's nothing wrong with that. But they kind of knew that it was going to be painful at the start of free agency, and it was painful. It was very painful.
Yeah, dude. And not only that, costly, because obviously you were hoping to keep either Giroux or Sherratt, and you're not able to keep either guy, and so you kind of rented them for a very short time. You lost 2 first-rounders in the process, and then Mason Marchment, that's a guy you've talked about before. Wow, that one hurt, man. That one hurt. I really wanted to see them keep him. Nolan Acciari's a nice little player, but I can deal with losing him. But the Marchment one really, really kills me, man. That one sucks.
Yeah, that's the one that hurt. And then seeing what Giroux got, which was 6.5 a year. Yeah, even without salary cap issues, given his age, that's one of those where, more power to you, Claude. Sherrod, I don't think there was ever a thought that they'd re-sign him. And like you said, Marchment, especially for a team that's lacking in grit, playoff type, prototypical players, losing him really, really, really hurt. And the problem is they're dealing with cap issues based on the Keith Yandel contract they gave him many years ago. And they're also carrying a $5.3 million charge for Patrick Hornquist, who's a fourth line player who barely plays, who's a great complementary piece because of his leadership and the grit that he brings.
But not the money.
But he's still a fourth line player making $5.3 billion.
Yeah, that's definitely. And hey, listen, we got to also say Bob's contract is, weighing on this team. Also, it kills their flexibility too. You know what I'm saying? And this is the kind of league that I wish they had a little bit of a luxury tax, because Vinny Viola would happily pay the luxury tax.
Yeah, no, and that's the problem. You pay a goalie that much, he better be, a big time difference maker. And having said that, Bob was good in the playoffs.
Yes.
He wasn't good enough for his contract, if we're going to be honest about it.
Right. He's not the reason why you got eliminated, by the way, in the second round. Let's also give Bob a little love there. But yeah, he's just gonna. The way he has played, he'll never justify that deal anymore. Unfortunately, it is what it is. It just becomes a bad deal. So, all right, listen, man, you're Canadian, so by law, by nature, you know way more about hockey than the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? So walk us through Lyons, Bitetto, Cousins, White, the Stahl brothers. What do you like out of this? Are they looking for another Duclair type of diamond in the rough type of thing? Walk me through all of this.
Well, the guy they signed are good complementary guys, probably not top six forwards. For example, if we're looking at Cousins and Colin White, I don't really see them as, again, top six forwards. Colin White's a former first-round player, picked by Ottawa, but he's been more of like a grinder, checker kind of guy, like third line type of guy. Bitetto's so he's fine on defense, but he's like a bottom of the roster type of player. Mark Stahl's had some good years, but he's getting up there in age. Eric Stahl was once a great player, but he didn't
play last year, right? He was out of hockey last year, right?
I believe. I know he signed with Montreal, and I don't know. I believe he played some, but he's not the player he once was. He signed. They signed him to professional tryout, so he may not even be on the opening day roster. And if he is, expecting a whole lot from him. This is not the idea of Eric Stahl is great, but 2005 Eric Stahl, not 2022 Eric Stahl. So. Yeah, it's impossible to not look at this team and say that they haven't taken a step back. And unfortunately, and again, this was kind of to be expected. The guys they signed, again, were complementary pieces, whereas they lost Giroux, who's kind of a frontline guy. Sherrod, to me, is a good top four defenseman. And we already spoke about Marchment. So, and it's going to be, they still have some good talent on the top six with Verhaeghe, Barkov, Huberdeau, Bennett, Reinhart. You need that one right winger to team up with Verhaeghe and Barkov on the top line. I don't know if that guy's on the roster yet. They have some young prospects. Maybe they hope they make the jump. Denisenko, Eponiemi. I don't know if either of them are ready to be top six guys anyway. So, no, it becomes like this notion that the Panthers are going to be able to repeat what they did last year and win the President's Trophy.
I don't care about that.
I don't say no. Correct, but and I'm not sure also how well they've addressed the fundamental problem with this roster is that they're not necessarily built for the playoffs. If you come back with the same core, you're going to have the same issues again of being able to grind it out in the playoffs.
Right. And so that's what I got to ask you. Did they do that at least? Did they get more grinders? Is that what they found in some of these guys? Is that what they're expecting from some of these guys?
I can't say that they did. I mean, again, they got good complementary role players, grinders, but not necessarily. They're not like big physical guys. Cousins not a big physical guy. Colin White isn't either. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
How am I supposed to feel like they could go farther next year than they did this past year?
Yes,
That's what it's. I don't care about the points in the President's Cup. Can you get past the second round? Can you get to the conference finals? You know what I mean? What would it take for that to happen? Let's put it that way.
I'm going to hate to put it on one guy and maybe two guys. It's going to take for Barkov and Huberdeau to be dominant players like they are in the regular season and to carry that into the playoffs. And to me, it's going to be a lot easier for Barkov because he's got the body for it and his style is more conducive to that. Huberdeau is a finesse player who does a dipsy doodle and all that, which is 18 times more difficult to do in the playoffs because guys won't let you breathe. They won't give you any room to do that. So, but that's what it's going to take.
Okay. All right. Let's switch gears. Talk a little Dolphins. There isn't a lot of news out there, but what'd you think of the story already about Sean Payton eyeing the Chargers, Cowboys, and Dolphins in 2023?
I don't think that it's breaking any ground that was overly shocking. I mean, he's been linked to the Cowboys for quite a while. He was linked to the Dolphins earlier this offseason. And who wouldn't want to coach the Chargers if they decide to move on from Brandon Staley after just 2 years? When you have, I mean, I didn't know the part about it that the warm weather was that important to him. But again, if the Chargers decide to move on from Brandon Staley, I mean, you got a franchise quarterback in place. You got a lot of good pieces, but this is a team that logically should challenge for the AFC West title in 2022, even though that division is completely ridiculous. So, but again, the other issue is whatever happens, teams still have to deal with the Saints, who are going to want compensation for allowing Payton to leave and sign with another team.
By the way, he wants personnel decisions, which this is why I get the feeling that, a lot of this stuff that's gone on throughout the last 2 years, it's Flo about Watson, it's the owner about Brady, and it's the owner also about Sean Payton. And yet I don't think it's ever the front office about any of those people. I think they're happy with doing what they're doing and going in that direction that they're going in right now. And any of the detours that we've talked about has been outside of the front office instead of being the front office.
Well, yeah, but as we've discussed before on this show, is Stephen Ross likes the shiny object, and if Sean Payton is on the open market next year, he's the shiny object.
And I reminded everybody that so was Jimmy Johnson, and it didn't work out.
That wasn't Stephen Ross, though.
No. But what I'm saying is the shiny object always doesn't work out. You know what I mean? Bill Parcells was a shiny object, and Nick Saban was a shiny object. And the other thing that you don't know, he wants personnel decisions. Well, guess what? He's never done that either. Who's to say that Sean Payton's going to be good at personnel? He won his championship without him being the personnel guy. He won most of the time in New Orleans without ever being the personnel guy. So who's to say that he's going to be good in personnel? That's the other thing that people have to understand, that just because you acquire Sean Payton, well, Sean Payton may actually be his own worst enemy if he's not a very good general manager.
Yes, that would be yet to be determined. I would also, but he would come into a situation where Chris Greer is not an alpha, who would have no problem letting Sean Payton call the shots if it came to that.
Well, but that doesn't matter. The bottom line is he'd be one calling the shots, and he'd be the one effing it all up, is my point.
But you're assuming he would be effing it all up. And I would also argue with you that I would call Jimmy Johnson's tenure with the Dolphins massively underrated. I mean, he made the playoffs 3 out of 4 years after inheriting a horrible cap situation, and he left in place for the wrong guy, as it turned out, but he left in place a great foundation in terms of the defense.
Yeah, I will also say he killed his own offense by trading away Irving Fryer and letting guys go and not and taking away audibles from the greatest quarterback in the history of the franchise, and drafting Jarris McFailure and Larry Shannon, and we could just go on and on and on and talk about all the f ups on offense. Yeah, he as good as he was on defense. He was that bad on offense. He was his own worst enemy, thinking he could run the Dallas offense without the Dallas line or the Dallas running back. So as much as you can praise him for what he did on defense, I will counter with how much he was a cancer on offense, because he was a cancer on offense. He debilitated his own quarterback. He made his own quarterback worse by taking away the audibles. So to me, and weapons too at the same time. Irving Fryer, by the way, had back-to-back Pro Bowl years for the Eagles after leaving the Miami Dolphins, and they did not replace him. You know what I'm saying? So we could go back and forth on that. He said they were going to be special. They were never special. So, yeah, he had more success than all the other clowns that followed him after. But overall, for what he came to do, he didn't get it done. He was an embarrassment in the playoffs.
Well, because correct, but because the expectation was it's Jimmy Johnson, they're going to win the Super Bowl. But again,
he said it. We're going to be special.
How many Dolphin fans?
I gotta find that soundbite. I have it.
Okay, Big O. How many Dolphin fans right now would kill to make the playoffs 3 of the next 4 years, considering the drought they've been on? So,
oh no, I get that, my brother. A starving child wants food too.
Okay.
I understand that. If you haven't gotten laid for 10 days here in Vegas, you're dying to get laid when you get home. I get that. I totally understand all of that, my brother. But the bottom line is, it's about building a team to win a championship, to be something respectful. When they got to the playoffs, they were a joke. They got thoroughly embarrassed over and over again in the playoffs. Jimmy did. So to me, yeah, you were good enough to just get into the playoffs, but you weren't really impactful in the playoffs. So I wasn't that impressed with it. I'm glad you went, but to compare it to what you've had now, come on, bro.
Well,
it's like Mad Dog used to say. So you're the valedictorian of summer school. You know what I mean? It's like,
Okay, but again, if we're grading on a scale, he did very well. And to me, it wasn't a perfect tenure, but to say it completely sucked, to me, that's not right either. It's somewhere in between. Can we agree on that? It's somewhere in between.
Yeah. No. What passed after him completely sucked. Cam Cameron completely sucked. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm with you there. I'm not going to say he completely sucked, because he built up Jason Taylor and Sam and Pat and Zach, obviously,
and Tim Bones. No. Shula drafted him, correct? But he thrived and developed.
Well, he had to keep him because he's a hell of a player, bro. Come on.
Correct.
If you want Zach to run around, you keep Timbo there, bro. Okay, so he was smart enough on that end. But defense, he did great. I'll never complain about what he did on defense. I'll kill him for what he did on offense. I mean, I will assassinate his ass for what he did on offense and what he did to Marino overall.
But here's the thing, though, is offense and defense have to work together, and that was his idea. Whereas Shula sacrificed the defense to fully exploit what Marino was doing well. When Johnson took over, Marino was in his 14th NFL season. He wasn't the Marino of 1984 anymore.
Where I disagree with you on that, I think that was all coincidence. I think Shula lost his personnel people. And I don't think Shula had as strong personnel people like he had in the past. That's what I think hurt him. In the 70s and the early 80s, he had some really good personnel people with him. By the time we got to the mid to late 80s and the 90s, his personnel department was just pretty much shot, and it was him, and he was making all kinds of bad decisions. when he had Beathard and some of the other guys, he had a much better front office in those days. Now, he lost his juice. That's what I think happened to him. He made a lot of bad decisions, unfortunately, and a lot of bad luck too. Because you trade for Eric Green, he blew out his freaking knee. I mean, that I can't blame Shula for that. I can blame him for trading Robin Senline for Anthony Carter. I can blame him for that. I can blame him for drafting Eric Kumaro and Jackie Shipp. I can blame him for that. I can blame him for certain things. Now, he had some bad luck. And trading for Eric Green was a disaster. My God. That guy looked like Kyle Lowry. It was terrible.
And big to begin with. No, they signed him as a free agent. But the flip side is he did get Richmond Webb and Keith Sims in the first 2 rounds in 1990. He was able to turn Randall Hill into the 7th pick in the draft. Not even a month into his rookie season, traded him to Arizona, and Randall Hill never became a great NFL player and got the 7th overall pick out of him. And then wound up picking Troy Vincent with that pick, who's a really, really good player, even though sadly he did most of his best work with the Eagles. So there were hits and misses.
It also didn't help. He played him on special teams and he blew out his knee.
Who?
Troy Vincent. Remember? Poor Shula. Because you play some of your best players. I mean, Jimmy played JT and Zach the first 2 years of their careers on special teams. So Shula plays Troy Vincent on special teams. He blows out his knee, and they kill Shula after that. Troy comes back to have a great career. It doesn't matter. But hey, back in those days, blowing out your knee was an enormous thing, dude.
Yep.
And for Troy to come back and have a Hall of Fame caliber career, you can almost argue, it's pretty special on his part as a player. He had his hits and misses.
Correct.
As he hits on Green and Webb. I mean, on Webb and Sims, he misses on Green and
Billy Milner.
And that
was his last draft too.
And Earthquake Blake. So yeah, it's I personally think he lost an edge in his personnel department from his early days when he was strong. Who's the other guy? It wasn't Beathard, the other guy that was there longer than him. Who's the other personnel guy that helped him out a lot?
George Young?
Yeah, Young, who then went on to the Giants to, because everybody, like Parcells coached it, but a lot of these Giant fans act like he picked those players when it was really George Young that picked those players, not Parcells, actually. Parcells went to do the groceries after. But really, George Young did the one for those teams that won in 87, 91, I want to say?
They won in the 86 season and the 90 season.
Right, so it's okay, yes, exactly. Exactly it. But that's what I'm saying, that you could want, just for the people that want Sean Payton, be careful what you want, because he also wants to do a job he's never done before. And that's pretty dangerous too. And a lot of guys, actually, I'll go out on a limb and say most guys end up failing when they take on that extra responsibility.
Yeah.
You succeed handling both responsibilities.
Important point to be made there, okay? Because we get into semantics with this. Do we really believe that Sean Payton never had any say whatsoever in which players the Saints were picking in the final years of his tenure? I mean, not for a second.
Well, they didn't win a title in their final years, so it doesn't matter.
I understand, but they were always competitive. And last year they would have made the playoffs. It wasn't for the fact that
I can tell you that he may have an opinion, he might have a suggestion, but most of them were done by Jeff Ireland the last couple of years. Most of them are all done by Jeff Ireland and the other guy,
Mickey Loomis.
Loomis.
But again,
those are the guys that are making the picks normally, not Sean Payton.
See, I'll check with my buddies in New Orleans because it's like, again, this is all semantics because Chris.
You know that one draft that they hit like 5 years ago?
Yeah, 2017.
That was all Ireland. Ireland.
And again, I will venture.
Everybody goes Jeff Ireland. That draft.
Who maybe identified the guys, but there's zero chance in my mind that Sean Payton didn't have a say. Just like Chris Greer has been GM of the Dolphins since 2016. He has not been the final decision maker since 2016.
No. He's been the final decision maker the last 3 years.
Correct. So that's why when you have that title, and even though Sean Payton didn't necessarily have that title. So.
Yeah, but the bottom line is he's not the personnel guy in New Orleans. And so you can't label him like he had any of those successes. The guys that are constantly giving the praise for it, it's Ireland and Lewis. Those are the guys that are constantly giving.
Correct.
Nobody mentions Payton ever. Everybody mentions on the personnel side, they all go, wow, this, that, because, our ties with Ireland. And it's like, hell, I saw Ireland, like, what was it, 4 years ago now, at the combine, and I talked to him and I congratulated him on that draft. I said, man, you nailed it and all that stuff. And he was happy to take all the credit for it. So, be careful what you ask for. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I'm going to have to cut it short. I'm going to have to bail, but I will leave with one final thought that if it does come to pass, to me, it would be very surprising, and things would have to go horribly wrong for the Dolphins to bail out on Mike McDaniel after just 1 year. So, on that note, have a great weekend, my brother.
You got it, my man. Be good. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at PoopHeartNFL. And, of course, catch his work there at Sports Illustrated. AllDolphins.com is the website. AllDolphins.com. Make sure you bookmark that baby. That is Alan Poupart there. Good conversation. That was good.
This has been the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report with Alan Poupart, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and never miss a report. Search Big O Radio Show on most platforms. Visit Sports Grill in our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th, and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza. When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at FLPDjobs.com. That's FLPDjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
What? Oh, look.
Hey guys, this is Hayden Hurst, NFL tight end. I'm partnering today with Red Recover. We're going to run you guys through some drills. I started using Red Recover last year, my 4th year in the NFL. It just helps me on Mondays after games, get my recovery process started, get back into the fold of the week, and get ready for the following Sunday. And if you want to recover like me, use Red Recover.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Wilton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Wilton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane, Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CS, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slowens, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The road trip continues with our coverage of the Slomans.com NBA Summer League. Live from Las Vegas, Sloman's Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Here's your host, Big O.
All righty, hour number 3. Thank you all for hanging in there. You want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line? It's really simple, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. That is a 24-hour talk show there on Twitter. When sports and business collide, we like to do something on this show, and it is called the KSDT Sports Business Reports. Now, when we talk about the KSDT Sports Business Report, it's always interesting stories that we try to come up with. But today's a sad day. Today's a sad day at least this is a sad report here on the KSDT CPA Sports Business Report. I'm depressed today, Sean, with this report. I really am. I'm sad. Baker Mayfield no longer will be representing Progressive in his commercials. He no longer will be living in the stadium. That was a Progressive stadium. So apparently, according to the Sports Business Journal, Mayfield in his introductory press conference in Carolina said the arrangement with Progressive has ended. The commercials operated from the premise that Mayfield and his wife actually lived in the team's home stadium. Mayfield, by the way, pitched a moving out installment for the series and called it missed opportunities. But unfortunately, they did not go for it. Baker says there will not be a new commercial with Progressive showing him moving into the new stadium. All right, so it's unfortunately, that's it. Hanging out in First Energy Stadium. It's over. I'm just got to tell you, I enjoyed the commercials. Chatting up with the ladies, on the soap operas, The Secret Code 6. There was a lot of things to like. Giving out nachos and cheese to the kids at Halloween. I mean, that's the best part when he got the part of it and he started, and the wife is looking at him like, what are you doing? That kind of stuff. I'm going to miss it, actually. I think he did a really good job with that stuff, man. Oh, Lordy. Now, just let's follow me on this here because I'm kind of cynical. So they say they're out, right? And, the whole thing, they had him living in that stadium, whatever, all that. If Baker was Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson changes from Cleveland to Carolina, is there any part of you that thinks Progressive also moves with him to Carolina and continues to, not that Russell Wilson can do the things that Baker's doing, because Russ is kind of, he's just a stiff dude. He doesn't have that in him. It's just that, he's kind of lame in that sense. He's a great man, but he's just, that's not his deal. But Baker does an excellent job with that. But Baker's not half the quarterback that Russell has been in his career. And, Russell's headed for the Hall of Fame. Different kind of quarterback. But Russell is a hell of a player, a hell of a person. And if he had the personality to be able to do those commercials, I'm just wondering, but what do you say, Sean Stanley? So Progressive is not moving with Baker from Cleveland to Carolina. But if it was Russell Wilson moving from Cleveland to Carolina, do you think that Progressive would find a way to maybe keep that thing going? Yeah, right. So, tell me all you want what the premise is, but I'm going to go with who the player is. And Progressive said, yeah, you're on the decline. You may not even survive this trip to Carolina. This is our chance to get off of the train. Sorry, but that's just the cynical me. I can't help it. What can I tell you? Yo, I love Big O. He keeps it real. I mean, it's just the truth, right? Rosendo, Big O, since you are on the West Coast, have you and Sean visited a recent In-N-Out Burger? Yes. We did the first night Sean got here. I took him to In-N-Out Burger. Okay. I had In-N-Out the second night I was here because I got here the first night. I got here like at 4 in the morning. I pulled into the house like at 4:10, 4:20 in the morning. And there's no way I was eating a burger at that time of the night. So the next day when I went to the Morrissey concert, I had my In-N-Out the day after, the night after, right after the concert in the home. I had that. And then when I picked up Sean at the airport, the first stop was In-N-Out Burger, then the house. So yes, it's a rite of passage. It's a law. You need another one before we leave? No, you're good. Okay. All right. But yeah. Well, there's at least one trip to In-N-Out Burger while we're in Vegas. So we did one, only one. Okay. I believe Progressive is an Ohio state-based company. No, I believe Progressive is smart. And they said, yeah, no, Baker, no. We're off the Baker Mayfield train. That Mayfield ship is sinking. Okay. Really got to get out there to see Morrissey. I don't know if he continues with his run. I think it was done. I'm not sure. Can you look it up and see if Morrissey still has any dates in Dallas? Hell, I don't even know. Maybe he's done touring. I don't even know. I'm not sure. You better look it up before you come. All right, better make sure because I don't know if his residency is over here in Vegas. That's the thing. And if it wasn't for freaking Steven, unfortunately, rehab, we would have seen I would have seen Aerosmith during this stretch here because they were supposed to be here also. But man, that was an experience to see all three nights of Morrissey. Does anyone in your family call you Big O? Inquiring minds want to know. No. My wife doesn't. She calls me babe or whatever, or sweetheart or whatever. Daughter calls me dad. The mother-in-law calls me Orlando. No, nobody calls me. No, nobody calls me Big O. Only friends and folks that we meet and stuff like that. They may call me Big O, or Orlando, or idiot. Idiot also. Idiot is big. Moron, idiot, fool. Those are also, more than Big O. But yeah, we get the Big O every once in a while. He's overseas. Okay, so Morrissey's gone overseas. Oh, so he starts September 24th overseas. Oh, in Ireland. So he goes to Ireland and Great Britain. So there you go, my brother. He go. You're gonna have to get him on the way back whenever he comes back the next time around. And I would definitely go see him if you're a fan. Oh, do you think Applebaum is legit? Well, let's find out. Let's give him a chance. Who knows? Deshaun Watson on Progressive commercials now? No, I think Deshaun Watson is going to do Morgan & Morgan for the people. That's what he's going to do. He's going to do Morgan & Morgan commercials. He should do lawyer commercials is what he needs to do. Marlins, by the way, they got it done against the Pirates. Little craziness at the end. Pablo Lopez had a nice outing. Avisail Garcia batting a wholesome 232. Had 2 RBIs. Today, they will wrap up the series with the Pirates. Ooh, it's starting right now. It's starting right now. About 12:10, yeah. It's 12:13 now. There you go. I hope you took the Pirates plus 1.5. That's what I'm taking. So, there you go. Zach Thompson, that is, and Braxton Garrett on the mound. By the way, yesterday we lost. I tell you, Severino gives up those 3 home runs, and then they go to extra innings, and the Yankees come back and they win by a run, and I lose by half a run. So our 1-game streak is over. So we dropped to 13-7. Yeah, 13-7 with our liquor split matchups of the night. Huh? Lone Depot, yeah. Is this the day where they bring the kids in, or? I hope so. Yeah, there's nobody there. No, I would imagine it's a 12-10 game. Yeah, I see the shirts. It's the Pirates, yeah. Shirts. There's different colored shirts. Yeah. Then they brought the kids. That's good. I like it when they do that at least. Wow. Yeah. Wow. It's a shame that man, I want the Marlins to be good. I just wish they would actually get over the hump and win everybody's confidence and, commit to winning, and it would be awesome. Do you remember a rock band in the 70s called Babe Ruth? No. Why would I? What the hell did they accomplish? A candy bar? Who is the greatest Marlin ever? Probably Miguel Cabrera. Probably. I don't know. The problem with that question is nobody has longevity. And so, you can argue about all kinds of players because so what do I say? Do I say Moises Alou is one of the great players of all time or the greatest? Because he actually played here and was in a championship year and had clutch hits. So it's just one of those things that you can give it to so many players. Sandy will become that if you keep him here long enough. If the first time you keep a player long term for real, that's the guy that becomes the greatest Marlin of all time. Stanton was here for a certain amount of time. I'll give Cabrera over Stanton every day of the week and twice on Sundays. But Edgar Renteria was a hell of a player, dude. So it's the Marlin thing is incomplete. Nobody deserves to be called the greatest Marlin of all time because nobody has been here for a career. So until you actually keep somebody here for, 10 plus seasons and say, okay, this is a franchise player that we've kept here as the face of the franchise for 10, 12, 14 years, that's the first time you can ever say who's the greatest Marlin of all time. After that, it becomes mental masturbation. It's a ridiculous argument. It's a stupid-ass argument because nobody has tenure. So you can make arguments for all kinds of people. And I can say, well, I'll take Jeff Conine because he was part of both teams. And he won the MVP in the All-Star game and this and that. And he was part of our expansion team. And he was part of our most historical moments, expansion and 2 championships. He's the greatest Marlin. So how do you argue with that? Because it makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? So do I go with the guy you had for a short time but is the greatest talent you had? Do I go with the guy that was in here for 3 different parts and they got rid of him a couple times and they brought him back a couple times? And, is that really a Marlin? because we call him Mr. Marlin, but he wasn't here for his whole career. Maybe his son can become that guy instead, right? Don't we have Conine's kid in the minors? I'm pretty sure of that, right? So maybe he comes up and has a 12, 15-year career and is an ass kicker. So the first time you actually keep somebody for a career will be the first time you can truly label somebody the greatest Marlin of all time. For now, it's a dumbass argument. Big O, the way you feel about the Marlins is how I feel about the Pirates. Yeah. But neither one tries to become great. And that's the problem. The greatest Marlin, Dave Dombrowski. How do you argue that? Holy shit. He built both titles. Hard to argue that one. So, when some Marlin sticks around, then we'll talk about it. Then we'll celebrate that finally they have an all-time great Marlin. Meanwhile, you know what they got? A whole bunch of rentals. That's all they have. A bunch of rentals. That's what I used to call Jose Fernandez. I used to just call him a rental player because eventually he was going to get traded. That's what I always felt. Because he wasn't going to stick around. Eventually he would have left because he would have noticed, okay, these guys aren't spending. I'm getting the hell out of here. And that relationship with him and Lowry would have gotten sour quickly. And we just never got there, unfortunately, to the point where he was demanding all that money and all that stuff because he lost his life. But yeah, it's a great point, Big O. Wade is the greatest Heat player ever, but LeBron is the greatest player to ever play for the Heat. Exactly. But LeBron was here a short time. Wade was here a career. Alonzo, I put Alonzo in front of LeBron. Played an entire career practically here, dude. And was the most important center in the 2006 championship. So, yeah. It's when a Marlin actually stays here for a long time, then we can actually have that conversation for once. Meanwhile, it's a joke. Billy the Marlin, been here since the beginning. Only thing consistent from the owners to managers to players. Billy's pretty good too, man. Yeah. By the way, redrecover.com, a proud sponsor of the show. It only takes 15 minutes a day. And the convenience of being able, in fact, I wore my hat just a little while ago while I was preparing, 15 minutes. And that's what I love about the wraps. They come with a rechargeable battery that you attach to your wrap, shoulder wrap, neck, back, what's it called? Knees, ankles, elbows, wherever you've got your pain, we've got a wrap for it. And here's the best part. You put that wrap on, you can go walk around the house while you're doing it. You can stand there and continue washing the dishes. You can sit in your office and do your work while you have a wrap on your neck, your shoulder, whatever it is. Like me, I'm wearing my hat, that kind of stuff. It's so easy, folks. 15 minutes a day. Do it like Hayden Hurst, first round tight end for the Cincinnati Bengals. He uses Red Recover as part of his daily recovery program to optimize performances on Sunday. And if you want to listen and watch his testimonial, you can go to redrecover.com, and you're going to love this. And it's great for the kids this summer while they're running around and getting sprains and strains. You can use Red Recover to help them recover. And the good thing about it, Red Recover is wearable red and infrared wraps in the market with 3 different light wavelengths to help you optimize recovery and performance. And it's 100% natural with no side effects whatsoever. So it's great for the kids. It's great for the adults. It's great for your dogs. We've got the wraps for their hips and their back, which, sometimes some dogs, they have some arthritic issues later on in life. Let's avoid those. Let's help them live healthier and more comfortable lives. Go to redrecover.com. Use our code BIG OW, and you will get 10% off your order. Use the code BIG O. Order redrecover.com. By the way, if you want to buy the hat, I'm not sure if the hat will be on the website. If it's not, go to the Contact Us page and send them an email and explain to them that you want to get a hat. and then they'll put you in line for the hat when they get in. They're at redrecover.com. Use our code Big O and get that relief, whether it's an old pain injury, whether it's after working out. It is a great way to recover and to feel better, blood flow, so many different benefits from it. Redrecover.com. Read the blogs, check out the video blogs, get educated. You're going to love it. Redrecover.com. I promise you it will work. Good stuff. Let's see. That Galarraga bomb of Kevin Brown still blows my mind. Yes, that was a great shot. Second level, all the way. Yes, I remember. I remember that shot. That was majestic. Yeah, that was cool. And Kevin Brown was a hell of a pitcher. Short amount of time. So, that's it. So, who was the all-time greatest Marlin rental player? Now that's the conversation you can have there. There's no such thing as a greatest Marlin, but there is such thing as the greatest Marlin rental player because that's exactly what they pretty much live for. Every player they ever drafted was a rental. Every player they ever traded for was a rental. Every player they signed in free agency was a rental because they never kept anybody. Which, by the way, puts Jose Fernandez right up there as one of the greatest Marlin rentals ever. Yeah. That would be about accurate, my friend. I would go with that one. It's a good call by you. I like that. That was creative. That was really, really, really good. Got to give you love for that. How is the market blowing up? I don't get it. I don't understand how the crypto market is blowing up. Bitcoin is up over 5%. Polygon's up 22%. It's up to 68 cents now. The last time I bought Polygon, you see, 46 cents. And now it's at 68. Wow. Should have bought more. Oh man, it's still good at 68 cents. I'd still buy if somebody's out there and never bought Polygon, I'd scoop up a ton. Ethereum's up 8%. I don't understand this. I don't know why. Gala's up 6%. Cody's up 7.8%. Immutable X. Engine Coin. Wow, this is crazy, man. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Illuvium's up almost 8% when we got back over 100. Was down to $92 yesterday. Great deal for Illuvium. Wow. That blows my mind. I don't get it, man. There's no indicators to really think that it would go up, and especially the altcoins. I get if Bitcoin goes up because all the things are going with Sri Lanka. You see what's gone on in Sri Lanka? Oh my God. So yeah, those are the people that's when you get to the point you say, damn, I should have invested in Bitcoin. Because when they lock you out of your banks, like they've done in Russia and other places, or when when the government goes under and your money is worth nothing and all that. This is why we're headed there. It will happen. Joe in the PSL says, Big O, repping Big O Nation at Marlins game today. Place is packed with camp kids. Birdie already stole the base. Nice. Number 28 on the season. There you go. Sean Stanley is on top of it. All right. So, okay. All righty. All right. If you want to get in, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the program, of course. Let's see. What else do we have here? Jose is telling me, have you seen Andy Larson's tweet? Mitchell is right there for us, but I guess Riley wants to run it back with Hero. Jose, my brother, do you like constantly say like crazy ass shit? Do you understand what the fuck is going on? They're trying for Durant first, dude. Brother, get your head out of your ass. Figure what's going on. Damn. From my understanding of the Jazz are looking for New York deal, they want more picks, pick swaps and or Grimes. Miami deal, more picks plus Strus. Toronto deal, not close whatsoever. OKC deal, not close. Picks have no upside. 4-team deal, actually, Jazz could do that. Yeah. It's Miami doesn't have a ton of picks. The Jazz want a stupid deal. Miami's not going to give them a stupid deal, but Jose can't figure that out. And he also can't figure out that they're not making a deal for Mitchell until the Durant deal is done, bro. Jose, get your head out of your culo. Okay? As Tony Montana would say, get your head out of your ass. Stop with the Mitchell bullshit. Until Durant is done, they're not moving on to Mitchell, Collins, Miles Turner, anybody else, bro. Understand what the hell is going on, bro. Stop with your little Mitchell bullshit already. Some of you out there, man, you're just like hard-headed. You like don't get what's going on. There's no movement. They want Durant first. That's who they want. Until the Durant deal is dead, they're not moving on to anything else. So the Knicks have the door wide open to give them whatever the hell they want because Miami is not their competition. Miami is going for the big prize, which is Kevin Durant, not Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell will not guarantee you the title. Kevin Durant pretty much guarantees you putting yourself in that title game. So again, Jose, get your head out of your culo, okay? They're going for Durant, not Mitchell. Not sure what your love affair is with Mitchell. Looks like we getting close to Spider. I told he all wanted to come to New York because he's a diehard Mets fan. Brother, he's going to go to New York because they're the stupid ones that will pay him all the money that he wants. And they're going to give up all the picks because they're losers. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. Please, Alexander, don't be an idiot Knicks fan and try to talk up the Knicks in any way, shape, or form. The Knicks are a freaking clown show. They will always be a clown show. They're not going anywhere, and they're not doing anything no matter who they acquire through a trade with Donovan Mitchell. Understand that. So, whatever sorry-ass Knicks fan you might be or anybody else out there, you guys can celebrate all you want. You're going nowhere. You're winning nothing. You are nothing. You will always be nothing because you have an owner that's absolute garbage. And that's the part that you idiot Knicks fans obviously can't understand. You're not going to win with garbage owners. It's what it is. So I'm not exactly sure what you're expecting. What do we got? Okay. Sorry, Big O. Not trying to start a fight. Just afraid we end up not getting Durant or any other star. No, dude, it's not starting a fight. It's just get your ass off the Mitchell thing, bro. Get your ass off the Mitchell thing. Stop with the Mitchell bullshit already. It's not about starting a fight. I'm trying to bring you to reality. That's what we do on this show. Bro, it's about Durant, not about Mitchell. And they're not going to trade for Mitchell because they want stupid stuff for him. And you're not going to give up 5 first-rounders and a couple of players for the guy. You're not doing that. So they're not going to trade for that guy. The Knicks will get him or another bad team like Minnesota that will have to overpay. The Miami Heat are not going to overpay for Donovan Mitchell. They can go get a lesser player and get just as far in the playoffs with or without Donovan Mitchell. But if you're going to give up all that for Donovan Mitchell, that's just ridiculous. You give it up for Durant. That's the game changer. That's the guy that you can't cover. That's the guy that makes life impossible for you. I like Donovan Mitchell, but Kevin Durant is at another level. You just got to get off this whole trip about Mitchell until Durant is done. If Durant is dead and Mitchell is still alive, then, Jose, we move on to that conversation. But it's super clear that the Miami Heat want Kevin Durant. So until them or the Suns get him, the Heat aren't doing anything. You can tell. They're just, everything is geared towards that one guy. And it's the smart move. It's the one move. Durant is the only move that you can say puts them up there to say, okay, now we can challenge Philadelphia, Milwaukee for the title. And remember, once you get Kevin Durant, you will now get other free agents that are going to say, oh, no, I want to go there. I want to go there. I got a chance at a ring. I can be a role player for them. And you're going to get people to take less money to come. And remember, they have those 2 exemptions still left. So think about that. If they can get Durant, they can still use those exemptions on some players that they saved. What's the worst owner, Loria, Dolan, or Snyder? I mean, they're all the same. I know Loria has a championship, but he only got it because Dombrowski left him that talent. So I don't give Loria any credit for that title whatsoever. He's a garbage owner, but they're all garbage. Dolan, Snyder, Loria. You don't win with clowns like that unless you get lucky that the guy before you left you the talent, and then, you ride the coattails. I think Brooklyn is more of a clown show than the Knicks. You've got 3 of the top stars in the league, and now you want out after 1 year. They're all clown shows, Alexander. But what are you measuring? Seriously, what are we measuring? At least the Nets were able to lure those studs over there. It didn't work out because Kyrie's a flake, but Durant's a hell of a player. And they also got James Harden in there. The Knicks can't even lure those people there. So actually, you're wrong, Alexander. The Knicks are a bigger clown show because most people laugh at the Knicks and nobody ever takes their money. The only way the Knicks can acquire a star is by trading for him or drafting him, because no outright star will say, I want to go to New York and play for the Knicks. So, Alexander, you are dead wrong. The Knicks are the bigger clown show because the Nets are actually able to do what the Knicks can't, lure free agents. Actually, the Nets were able to lure the biggest free agent in the league for the last couple of years in Kevin Durant. So I'm not exactly sure how you measure clown shows, but I measure clown shows by a franchise that can't get any stars. That's the New York Knicks. They never can get any stars. Hell, the Brooklyn Nets got all kinds of stars. A crazy star in Kyrie Irving, a lazy star in James Harden, and a legitimate sourpuss star in Kevin Durant. But they got 3 stars. What stars do you guys get? Thanks for playing. All right. What else do we have going on? Is Marcel there yet? Not yet. He's on Cuban time. I told him just call him when he's ready. When sports and business collide, we have the KSDT Sports Business Report. This is amazing, okay? The NFL prints more money than the Federal Reserve. Our deficit is through the roof, right? Every president we add is worse and worse and worse for the deficit. So, the NFL really could get us out of all of our problems. And the NFL now is going to print even more money because reports now say that Apple, according to Puck News, Apple is the winner for the NFL Sunday ticket rights. And it was first reported that it'd be in the $2 billion range. Well, guess what, Sean? It's $3 billion that they're paying for those rights. Now, I want you to know, because as an Apple guy, not only are they going to probably add the NFL now, they just added the MLS. They have Friday Night Baseball, okay? And now they're also going for the UEFA Champions League. And apparently those rights are going up for $2 to $2.5 billion. So Apple all of a sudden has become a monster in the sports programming division. And for, those of us that carry Apple products and you subscribe to all that stuff, and if you have also Apple TV like I do, but hey, listen, but if you want to watch the NFL ticket, you're going to watch it. Everybody buys it anyway, but you got to buy it there. You got to buy the NFL ticket. No, but that's baseball. I'm saying football. Football. I get that, but you're not going to get every game. Oh, the highlights. Yeah.
The behind the scenes, the media one.
Yeah. But is that still now? That may not be available anymore now when Apple takes over, huh? No, but Apple hasn't taken over yet, and Apple doesn't take over probably for another year. I think this is the last year for DirecTV. I'm pretty sure this is the last year of DirecTV. Apple will start in 2023, right? Let me see. I think it's 2023. That's through NFL.com. That's what I'm saying, that this might be the last year of it. I don't know what the Apple deal, if that eliminates that, because Apple, I don't know if you know, like my 33 will not carry Inter Miami games next year. No, there'll be no longer any local broadcast anymore. Now it's going to go directly through Apple. So you will have to go through Apple to watch your MLS team. And you're going to have Friday Night Baseball. You're going to have UEFA's Champions League. You're going to have the NFL. So my point is that Apple now is becoming a source for the sports fan to have in order to watch a lot of different types of sports that you may like. I know I like. I have Apple TV, so it's not something that I'm not going to have at this point in time, but it's impressive that they continue to grow their sports tree and sports programming, and have taken it to another level. Nice job by Apple. That is your KSDT Sports Business Report.
This has been the KSDT Sports Business Report. KSDT CPA is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax and accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit online at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
We go. All right. John says, I pay $300 for the ticket and $15 a month for Apple TV, way cheaper than $300 for the ticket and $150 for DirecTV. Sold. Yeah, what you'll probably do is instead of paying $15 for Apple, you'll probably pay $20-$25 for Apple. It's probably what'll happen. They'll raise it $5 or $10 to cover the soccer and the NFL and all of that. And I'm with you that when you include all of the programming and all of that, that'll be one of the services that for sure I already have it. It's not like I'm not going to have it. So Apple, Disney, Prime, and then I guess Netflix maybe, and Netflix or Hulu. I don't know. We'll see. We'll decide. But Apple, monstrous. All right, let's get into a little football talk and our Edge energy drink, Miami Dolphins report with Marcel, Louis-Jacques next.
Time to get the edge on the Miami Dolphins with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report. When you want the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste, you can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com. Here's ESPN Dolphin insider Marcel louis-jacques.
All right. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. How are you doing, young man? You feeling good?
I'm feeling great, man. Another beautiful day in Miami as I look to my left. A little bit of clouds. I saw the Goodyear blimp, though, out front not so long ago. I'm not sure what it's here for. Maybe somebody in the comments has an idea. But
did you lose a fight with a weed eater?
With the weed eater? I lost a fight with the Miami Heat, man, like the literal Miami Heat. I'm tired of overheating. I'm tired of sweating. I'm tired of all that. It's incredible. I haven't felt air. I got the AC running right now. I haven't felt air on my head since 2017.
Yeah. No.
This is spectacular. I might never grow my hair out again.
Yeah, no. It's listen, I've lived there all my life. I know how to look. I'm out west right now, and it gets hot out here. Like, dude, it's 104, 5, 7, 9, 13. I mean, it gets hot. But still, it's not humidity. And that's the difference. You know what I mean? The humidity, it's such a pisser, for a lack of a better term, that you shower and you walk right outside and it just starts, bro. I mean, at least when you walk into the dry heat, you don't sweat for a while.
You know what's funny, which is real, because I see Alexander Diaz, Marcel, try living in Texas. Alexander, I have lived in California. I have lived in Arizona. I have lived in Texas. I have lived in Alabama, South Carolina, North Carolina.
Texas has more humidity than
I have experienced the worst heat that this country has to offer.
I lived in the summer in Houston, so I know exactly what it's
Texas
like.
is real bad. It's real bad, man.
It's bad.
It's really bad.
New York is bad, right? New York is underrated. People think that, because you're up north and all that stuff. Bull crap, dude. Spend the summer in New York. You'll sweat your ass off, dude. It's
honestly, what always cracked me up about Buffalo summers is, I spent that first winter, and everybody's like, "Oh, just wait till the summer. It's the best summer you'll ever experience in your life." And it was basically spring, though. Like, it was basically spring temperatures, hot spring temperatures for everywhere else to make up for the fact that they don't have a spring up there. It's just long winter. It's third winter. But there were days where it was like, damn, I gotta stay inside.
Yeah,
but
we are. It is getting global warming. So yeah, you're the winter the what is it? The winter caps or whatever they call it, the top of the polar caps or whatever. Those things are melting. So obviously it's warmer up there. It's going to be warmer even in Buffalo, bro. It's going to be warmer even in Canada.
The only time I will say that dry heat is worse than this. I lived in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. And it has the record for the hottest temperature ever recorded in the Western Hemisphere at 128 degrees. I wasn't there for that day, but I was there on a couple days where it flirted with it at 125, 126. I've had to cover baseball outside in 100. I have a picture of myself at a baseball game in 116 degree weather outside.
Yeah,
I tried to bring
113 here. It's hot. It's hot, but still. While it's hot, here's where I give you the dry heat breathing. Like, there's not as much, like, you don't feel the air. Like in South Florida, you'll feel the air because there's humidity in it. So you'll taste the mofo. You know what I'm saying?
But the wind doesn't work out west, man.
Yeah,
when it was windy, it was hot. Yes. It was like sticking your head in an oven and turning the fan on. There's no relief.
Amen, dude.
Bro, it was.
And out west here, you go to a spot that doesn't have the sun directly and it's like sheltered, but yet it has openings on each side. You're inside an oven, basically, because all the heat gets trapped up in there. It's like, because at the NFL, at the NBA Summer League, there's this walkway that's in between both of the arenas. And dude, when you're in that walkway, it's like a heater. It's like all the heat goes in there and it gets trapped up in there. And it's just,
you know what people don't talk about up there too. It's still hella hot at nighttime because all that heat gets trapped in the asphalt during the day and it reflects right back up to you all night long. There was never relief. I remember I went to my first party.
Wait a minute. We had a cold front. We had a cold front at 4 a.m. It was 94 degrees. It was 94 degrees.
No, I went to my first party at Arizona State as a freshman. I'm thinking, all right, I'm gonna throw this polo on. I'm gonna throw jeans on. It's August, middle of August. I almost caught heat stroke before I could even get in the building, man. Like you learn immediately. Bring 2 shirts to class because you're walking through campus in 116 and 118 until it starts to cool out. My mom came to visit in October for family weekend. She said, "We are never coming back. We'll come back in February. We'll come back in April.
Right.
Like we are never coming back in September, October again." So yeah, man. The bottom line is, man, summer is an overrated season. Give me fall 10 times out of 10.
Yeah.
10 times out of 10.
Yep. I'm with you there. What'd you think of Apple getting it looks like they're going to get the NFL rights for $3 billion, dude. The Sunday tickets going to
League
Apple.
is never running out of money, man. America's game is America's game. I got a couple friends that made a bet probably about 6 years ago at this point. They bet a Rolex that in 20 years' time, the NBA would surpass the NFL in popularity in the United States. And it's not looking good. It's not looking good for my boy Rob.
No shot.
No, it's, they had to make a play. These trillion-dollar companies were going to have to make a play at some point or another, right? Apple, Amazon, and Google. And so you figured it was only a matter of time. I know Amazon has already made its move, and they want to dive even deeper, sink their claws even deeper into the league. But for Apple to get some rights, man.
Well, no, not only that, they're out for the UEFA Champions League rights, which is $2 to $2.5 billion. They already picked up Friday Night Baseball, and they picked up the MLS. So if they have the MLS, Friday Night Baseball, now they're going to add NFL, and they're going to have Champions League. Wow, that's pretty cool, dude. That's a nice variety, and that's Apple in just a blink of an eye saying, whoa. We need that content.
Diversify your revenue stream.
It's a battle of platforms and content is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
It's one of the first rules of business. Diversify your revenue stream. Yeah. That's what you're seeing Apple do right now. It is.
Or dominate the content.
Dominate the content. I'm curious, with all that money and all this access, what more are they going to add behind the scenes? What kind of content they're going to produce? Amazon has an excellent series in All or Nothing that they've kind of spread across multiple sports. I think you've got hockey with the Toronto Maple Leafs. A couple NFL teams have done it. The Colts were in season this past year. They've done a few Premier League teams, and I think Arsenal's coming up as well. They did Juventus last year, Man City a couple years ago. Like, what kind of behind the scenes content are we going to see from Apple with this extra access, with with them being such a purveyor of technology? Like, I'm curious what they're able to do. So, I'm not going to turn my nose up at it, but the big TV, the big media conglomerates, the CBS's, NBC, Fox, ABC. It's obviously not a fantastic move for those companies. Obviously, I'm included in that, so there's only so much I think I'm going to say about this. But it's changing. How about the landscape is changing?
Yeah, no, the whole landscape is changing. We
still got Monday Night Football though, and it's never going away.
It's all about platforms and trying to dominate content. You know what I mean? There's platforms even locally trying to dominate content. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, the report out there, what'd you think of Sean Payton eyeing the Chargers, Cowboys, and the Dolphins in 2023? What'd you think of that?
I think it's 2022. I think they just hired a coach. I think Dolphins fans need to stop. We need to not pay attention. You see, this is why I said a few weeks ago, this is a dangerous time of year.
Yeah,
between minicamp and training camp, because
they gotta fill the air with a whole bunch of bullshit
coming out. Look, man, he's a great coach. Obviously, like, if you paired up Sean Payton and Tom Brady, that would be a hell of a duo. Of course, like, there's a reason why, like, that was a goal. That was a goal this offseason before Mike McDaniel came into play. Like, everything, like, you're allowed to dream big what do they say? Shoot for the moon, so that if you miss, you land among the stars. Like, they still ended up in a good spot with Mike McDaniel. I don't know how many scenarios there are in which, he can be fired after one season and then go after Sean Payton. Like, I don't know if, one, you want to even pay that much money to deal with it. He signed a $35 million contract. And then two, just the, from a moral, ethical standpoint. No, I think that it's something that I don't even really want to spend a whole lot of time on. I think that McDaniel has, he has made positive waves, positive strides already in his first offseason. I think that clearly this team is committed to him because they built a team in his image right away. I mean, right away. They went to work getting him every piece that he could possibly want or need. That's fine. I don't think that the Chargers thing, I don't think if he's eyeing the Chargers, why would the Chargers eye him? I think they're in a good place with Brandon Staley. But the Cowboys,
I'm not a McCarthy guy as it is, but I mean, and he's worked for Jones, so I guess he wouldn't mind being even a puppet for Jones. But it said in that article, one of the things he wants is personnel control. So, and this is what I told Poupart on earlier: be careful what you ask for, because he's never done that. That doesn't mean he's going to be good at it. Okay, so he won his title when he wasn't a personnel guy. And over the last few years, it was actually Miami's former personnel guy, Jeff Ireland, making all the picks. So he's never really been the personnel guy. So now you're also going to take on something that he may not be able to handle. You don't know. So that's another risk you're taking. That's why I can tell that out of all this crap that's gone on throughout all the offseason, it's the owner that wanted Brady. It's Flo that wanted Watson, and also Sean Payton, the owners, because obviously it's Steven and his buddy, the other guy has contacts with Brady. They've been together in the past. So that's where that connection is. This front office, I don't think wanted Watson. I don't think they wanted Sean Payton. And I don't think they wanted Tom Brady. I think the guys in the front office want to keep doing what they're doing. Tua, the picks, everything that they're doing, they're going about their plan. This has been stuff that has happened from either the owner or Flo, from all these other suggestions.
Yeah, I can't emphasize enough. I think they're in a good position right now, or at the very least, we don't know what position they're in right now. So I don't want to waste any brain power thinking of what might be, what could be.
I agree with what you first said. I love where they're at right now, dude. I love what the roster that they've been able to put together. I love the vibe that McDaniel has. I think there's a positive vibe going into camp, and I think it gives them an opportunity to go out there and see if they can actually put this thing together. So to me, I really like the direction that they're going in right now.
I actually, I spoke with Pat DeMarco a few days ago at Jordan Poyer's golf tournament, and he played under Mike McDaniel in Atlanta. So of course Mike came up, and we're talking. He's like, man, Mike is, to paraphrase, one of the most intelligent, intuitive, and in tune coaches that he's ever played under, in terms of putting his players in the best position to succeed and doing things with the players' well-being in mind. Like he is the guy. He's really that dude. He's as advertised. And I see Jesse saying, any chance McDaniel surprises all of us and offense looks more like KC. I want to put attention back to his time in Washington when he's there with Sean McVay, with Matt LaFleur, and with Kyle Shanahan. None of them knew how to run a zone read offense when they got Robert Griffin III, but they figured it out immediately based on what they had. And so I think that, in his formative years as a coach back in, the early 2010s, really helped lay a foundation of, you coach to the players at your disposal. You don't teach a horse how to climb a tree. Like you let a horse run. So like you don't try to teach a fish to shoot a basketball. You just let them swim. If you catch my drift, like I think that he's going to be able to see what he's got in that locker room, see what he's got on the field, and tailor the offense to what best suits those guys' strengths.
I agree.
That's why we're seeing basically the same offensive line, because this coaching staff has internal confidence that they can identify these guys' strengths and ask them to do things that highlight them, that play to them. So no, I think I think and at the end of the day, he's a smart person without necessarily an ego. You know, he's smart without being egotistical about it. He's smart enough to know what he knows and know what he doesn't know. And he's too smart to try to put a square peg in a round hole and run an offense that his team is not tailored to run. They've got horses, they've got weapons, they got speed at receiver. He's just going to find ways to get them into space, to manufacture yards after the catch for some of the most electric ball carriers in the NFL.
Smooth, delicious, and zero aftertaste. That is Edge Energy Drink. Go to myedgedrink.com. You can't go to stores. You got to order it online at myedgedrink.com, and you get 10% off. Use our code Big O and order the finest and the most delicious energy drink out there. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. What are you working on ESPN so folks can check you out?
You know, I actually just filed a story last night just discussing the secondary and how, you know, it better end this season as one of the best in the NFL, as one of the most productive in the NFL. Found an interesting stat, though, when I was looking up things about Brandon Jones. Not only did he lead all defensive backs in pressures last season, but do you know who was number 2?
Holland?
Javon Holland.
Okay.
By their powers combined, not only did they apply more pressure to opposing quarterbacks than any other defensive back in the NFL, they were also asked to do so more than anyone else in the NFL. Nice. They are used. Josh Boyer uses these guys unlike any other safety tandem in the NFL. They are truly a unique duo, and I think that's a special duo forming in Miami. Jones and Holland. You're going to start seeing the president signs, the campaign signs around Miami Gardens come probably October. Man, these guys are going to be special. I loved what Brandon Jones was able to do last year. I love him as a rusher. I think he's more of a box safety. I want to see him more in coverage this year just to play to his versatility, just to keep opposing offenses on their toes. But, man, I'm telling you this, we're hearing a lot about, Jason Cordy is not here anymore. What are they going to do with Eric Rowe? Are they still deep? I know Football Outsiders listed safety as Miami's weakest position. No, man, I think that they're stars. I think that Holland is a bona fide star. I think Jones, again, we want to see him more in coverage. Maybe if he makes more of those splash plays, he makes a more household name for himself and doesn't get trapped under the Holland shadow. But I think by their powers combined, man, they're looking a lot like those guys up north, Poyer and Hyde. Not saying they're at that level yet, but it's, they've got that kind of potential. That's how much I think of Brandon Jones and Javon Holland. So, yeah, that's coming out whenever my editor puts it out. And then from there, man, like I said, we're just getting ready for training camp. We're starting here. It's the 14th. So we're less than 2 weeks away. We're less than 2 weeks away.
I'm a Brandon Jones guy too. I just got to sharpen a little bit on the pass coverage, and that kid is a fantastic player. I'm with you there overall. All right, follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. And, of course, you can catch him every week here doing his thing with the Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report. Go to the website, myedgedrink.com, and check out Marcel's work there at ESPN. Marcel, as always, thank you, my friend. Have a great weekend. We will catch up next week.
Appreciate it, man. See y'all Monday.
You got it. There you go. Marcel Louis-Jacques getting it done right here. Our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report.
You now have the edge on the Miami Dolphins with the Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report featuring ESPN's Marcel Louis-Jacques. Get the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste. You can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com.
Apple made $152 billion in 2021, and $3 billion is a drop in the bucket. Yeah, that's another reason probably why they can do that and overpay. They're so powerful, man. It's a great company. It's a great company. I got a crap ton of their products, and they just make great products, man. You can beat them up and use them, and they last for a long. I still have my first iPad that's a brick. I still have it. I can turn it on and use it slow because it's old, because it's the first processor, but it still works. You know, it's funny, man. It's huge and it weighs. It's like doing weights. Like, I'll grab this iPad and it's nothing. The other one, man, it is. Damn, that thing weighs like a ton. Jesse Johnson says, Big O, do you think Patrick Riley will get Jimmy Butler some help so he can get a ring before he retires or leaves the team? Sir, we talked a lot about that on the show. You might have to rewind and check that out. As if you don't know, or you might learn, we don't repeat the content. We move on to the next one. So check it out, my friend. It's back there. I appreciate it. Marcel looks better with a new haircut. Yeah, he shaved it all off, huh? Yeah, he really wants to be as cool as possible. He's really getting ready for training camp and for the heat of being out in training camp. Smart man. Me, I am a big dummy. Well, what can I tell you? I'm a big goofus. I'm going to keep my long hair and be hot as hell in training camp. What can I tell you? I like my long hair. I'm a loser. Anyway, Sean Stanley, you, sir, are our winner, mastering this program every single day. Thank you, sir. As always, great week and a half or something, whatever it is. A little over a week out here at the Vegas Summer League, and we will be back next year. Next year, we'll be back, and we'll be better prepared to do more, actually. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We are headed back tonight, late tonight. So we're not back till like 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So we will not have a show tomorrow. It'll be on Saturday, probably around 11 a.m. I'll do it. I got to sleep in a little bit, and we will rock it out on Saturday just to have a little fun and talk to some of the fellas and get their thoughts on several things going on. I know Anthony Chang will be one of them that will join us on Friday. I forgot who are the other ones on Friday, but Omar, I mean Saturday. So Omar will have on we normally have on Friday, and Manny also. So we'll move him also to Saturday too. So we'll get all of those, and we'll get a full show for you on Saturday, starting around 11 a.m. I appreciate all of you out there. As always, please smash the like button. Subscribe to our other channel, Big O Show Cuts. We need to get that one to 1,000. So please, Big O Show Cuts. Subscribe here to this channel, Big O Radio Show. Get us to 13,000 because I think the number is like 45% of the people watching actually are subscribers. So there's a ton of you that are watching and you're not subscribers. And I appreciate it, but, please hit the subscribe button, man. It really helps us along the way. Thank you all out there. We'll see you on Saturday. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a great one.
You've been listening to the Big O Radio Show's coverage of the Slomin's.com NBA Summer League live from Las Vegas. We want to thank our great sponsors for helping us hit the road. Slomin's.com, KSDTCPA.com, Hialeah Park Casino, Edge Energy Drink, Craig Zinn Acura of Pembroke Pines, EJDConstruction.com, ALennyLocksmith.com, Perdomo Cigars, the Fort Lauderdale Police Department, Welton Rayon Law Offices, and LiquorSplit.com. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley. Please subscribe to both our YouTube channels, The Big O Radio Show and Big O Radio Show Cuts. Thank you for supporting the most complete platform on the planet covering South Florida sports.